All right, we are live. We're going to see if this one works. If not, I might have to do this one solo, which I do not want to do. I need my boy's story. Is it any better story? Story, do you copy? Story. I don't think so. Okay, we'll see if he comes back. If not, you just got me today. So that's kind of a letdown because we want story on here. But here's Kappa. What's going on? We got a lot of shit to go through. Maybe he'll hop back on. It's all good. I mean, I'm coming through good, right? Is everything clear still? Clean? I'm going to hit the intro one more time and text him while I hit the intro, and then we will figure this out, or I'm just going to go by myself. DB, what up? What up? We're going to see if this one works. If it's any better. Story, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah. Is that better?
Yeah, fuck. Yeah. No, it is actually worse. It sucks. Damn it.
No.
All right. I guess it's not gonna work tonight. I don't know why. You want to try using your I can't talk. Using your hotspot? Think that would work?
That's a good idea. Let me connect using a hotspot.
Yeah.
Yeah. See if that does anything different. Let me all right.
I'll be back. Hide you real quick. Okay. All right. Here we go. We're good. He's gonna come back on. It's all gonna work. If not, you got me for the next last night was 3 goddamn hours. I'm gonna answer some questions here in the meantime before we get to our couple things we have plans. That game was wacky. Hampton sucks. How about that fumble by Hampton? That's not good. Harbaugh's not going to be very pleased with that because he played like shit. They don't want to run the ball anyway, but like Hampton looks like the biggest bust of the fucking year. All the rookies, man. All the rookies. Hampton, Genty look bad. Genty looks good, but they don't use him. Henderson's barely playing. Harvey's not even playing at all. Blake says, Bucky, Rashad White thoughts. I'm not worried. Welcome again to everyone. I'm not too worried about Rashad White eating into his work. Are you guys worried? Because it was always going to be that case. It's still like 70% Bucky. So that's one thing we got going for us, dudes. All right, we got Mike in here, possibly. What's up, DB? The rookies are looking cooked for now. This is the time to trade for those guys because people that have them pieces of shit are going to be trying to trade them because they're most likely 0-2, right? So this is the time to trade for all of them. Story. What's up?
Hey, is that better?
Did you go on your hotspot? It seems a little better.
Yeah. I've got my phone as physically close to the computer as possible.
Fuck. No, it's still the same shit, man. Sucks.
All right.
This sucks.
Well, let me I'll have my wife
Mike has good internet. It's probably my internet that's like fucking like I like gave his internet herpes, dude.
Maybe I'll have my wife look into it tomorrow. She does a lot of video chats, and maybe we can reconvene tomorrow night.
Okay. All right.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Peace out, everyone.
Sucks, man. All right, dude. All right. Later.
We'll talk.
All right, it's just me. I have no idea what it is. It might just be a tech issue. I mean, I'm not a tech guy, so dude in a league trying to off Genty should have offered Dobbins or Hall. I mean, either one. I would prefer to keep Hall, but you're getting a deal there for sure. But I'll go through story. So we had a whole thing going on here. It's a new segment called Two Big Things. We're gonna go back. It's your internet, Rob. It might be. But I think I'm fine on these streams. I'm fine. And I had been on here the other day, so it was good. All right, we're gonna get into Two Big Things, and you're gonna love this one. So the first big thing is the Bears, and I'm from Chicago. We give up 52 points to the Lions. Embarrassing performance. Offense looked bad, defense looked worse. That loss to the Vikings even looks possibly worse because how bad the Vikings looked on Sunday Night Football. The Loveland pick, drafting Colston Loveland ahead of Tyler Warren. Fucking terrible. Terrible. Warren looks great. Okay. Odunze to the moon. DB, I'll give you that one. The offense will be fine for fantasy, but like just in terms of we're the worst team in our division by a mile. We were the worst team. Now we're the worst team by a mile. And Ben Johnson's he's gonna be bald, look like a cancer patient by like week 9, dude. Loveland should never been drafted in redraft. It's so fucked up. It's like if we were gonna take a tight end that early, which I don't advise, why didn't we just draft Tyler Warren, who's an all-purpose Swiss Army knife, instead of drafting this, I don't know, slot receiver? And it goes back to one of my favorite Family Guy cutaways, the mystery box, right? Where it's actually not a cutaway, just the plot line where Peter wants the mystery box over the boat. And he's like, even the mystery box, it could be a boat.
You have a choice. You can have the boat or the mystery box.
Are you crazy? We'll take the boat.
No, not so fast, Lois. A boat's a boat, but the mystery box could be anything. It could even be a boat. You know how much we've wanted one of those?
And that's what we did. We chose he could be Tyler Warren, except for we just take Tyler Warren, Bears. Guy that's a good blocker, fucking badass after the catch. I don't know. Colston Loveland at best is going to be Dalton Kincaid, which if you ask the Bills, go ask the Bills if they're happy with their Dalton Kincaid selection at 28th overall. That was 28th overall. We took Colston Loveland 10th or 11th. Awful pick. Awful pick. Ben Johnson is not a GM, and he came in and that was his guy. But why are we letting Ben Johnson select our players? And this whole thing is it just reeks of Bears stuff. That's what we do, man. It's fucking awful. Colby says thoughts on Wentz and Vikings in general. I have Jefferson and Mason on a few teams. Well, Mason, so Aaron Jones is out. Aaron Jones is hamstring. He's out for at least, I think, 1 to 2 weeks, probably more, dude. Would it surprise you if Aaron Jones goes on the IR? So Jordan Mason I love Jordan Mason. I loved him before the year. Jordan Mason is probably going to be a top. They have the Bengals next week. I would rank Jordan Mason top 15 right now. And Jordan Mason's a stud. And he already had the job. Now he's not going to look back. It's going to be Jordan Mason's job. And then you're going to have Aaron Jones playing third downs. So DB says, I think Wentz, here's the thing. You say you think he's respectable. Wentz is really a runner gun quarterback, right? It's hit or miss. But we've seen Carson Wentz legitimately almost win an MVP. And this is a great situation for Wentz. And I just don't think JJ McCarthy was ready. Ryan says, I'm ready and horny. Ooh, baby. Love that. I wish I had Story on here with me, but I'm doing this by myself. Wentz should ball. In terms of picking up Wentz for fantasy, I think if you lost Joe Burrow, here's a question for the chat. Would you rather have Jake Browning or Carson Wentz? I know Browning's going to be a whole year thing, but let's just say in the short term, let's say you had Brock Purdy and you picked up a dud this week. Would you rather have Browning or Wentz for the next 4 weeks? Yeah, JJ, I'm not writing JJ off in terms of his career. I'm just saying this is rough right now. And we got one for Wentz, one for Wentz, Browning even for 1 game. Well, Browning's starting for 3 months because Joe Burrow is officially gone. That's a good one, Blake. I think I'm sticking with Browning. I like Browning. He's turnover prone, but he's pretty mobile. He's aggressive. He's a good player. So I think I'm taking Browning. Unfortunately, week 1, his week 1, which is technically week 3, he's gonna be playing. They have the Vikings, so it's gonna be a Browning versus Carson Wentz showdown. So I don't know how I feel about that one, but who would you rather have in that matchup? I think I'd rather have Carson Wentz against the Bengals defense, right? Colby says, should I go Prescott or Drake at quarterback? Prescott or Drake May at quarterback the rest of the year? I think you keep them both and you play matchups, which is super difficult to do, but you don't want to drop either of them. If anything, try to trade one to a quarterback needy team. Yeah, Browning's better in fantasy than he is in real life. Ooh, Ryan, that's rough, man. Put up 139 and still lost. At least he didn't lose 140 to 139 because those are the fucking worst. I hate losing, but I lost the matchup by 1 point today. And he had Mike Evans and I had Nico Collins. And Nico Collins had that touchdown at the end. That he had 2 targets at the end, but I'm saying the catch he had, that 8-yard slant, got tackled on the half-yard line. Carson Wentz is, dude, I think it's maybe too early to give up on Carson Wentz. Like he was bad in Indy, but like every quarterback apparently besides Danny Dimes is bad in Indy. So I don't know if I'm ready to give up on him quite yet. Ooh, DB, I love this one. So before the week started, I traded Hampton and Jordan Mason for Josh Jacobs. Well, now it looks a little worse than it did. Well, no, it's kind of a wash, right? Because Mason's stock is up since that trade because of Aaron Jones' injury, and just in general, it's up. But Hampton's stock is like cratered, dude. Like I'm trying to think who I would rather have DeAndre Swift than Hampton 100%. I would rather have Dobbins, like Dobbins or Hampton. Like short term, 100% Dobbins. So, no, should you drop Brian Thomas Jr.? No. Don't drop Brian Thomas Jr. He plays every snap. He's a good player. Don't do that. Please don't do that. I wouldn't even drop Travis Hunter, and like he's played worse than BTJ. So we don't want to do that. He's an elite talent. Not a big fan of Brian Thomas personally, but I wouldn't even trade him either. Wait for him to pop off. Once he pops off next week, you can trade him or give him 2 weeks, right? Steve said I'd rather have Jacobs. I would rather have Jacobs. You're getting, and he's going to catch more passes too. It's not been great in terms of a pass catching role for him, but it will be better. And you're tied to with that defense being better than we thought. That's only good for Jacobs. Like he's looking at 20 touches he's like a mini Derrick Henry right now, maybe even better than Derrick Henry because they actually give him the ball on the goal line. Oh, okay. There's a good one. Montgomery or Hampton. So Montgomery was a 7th round pick. And we're talking PPR where Hampton was sold as this pass catcher. So, yeah, that's the line we're talking about right now with Hampton. And here's the thing, like before this game, I would have Hampton ranked. Obviously, he was drafted higher, but the rookies are Genty. I'm still not worried about Genty, right? Genty is an elite talent. Like you see him just trucking guys. Tough situation there, but they'll be fine. Hampton, Henderson, and Harvey. Harvey is by far the lowest ranked of all these guys because you drafted him lowest, but also he's getting the least usage. And he's looking at Tyler Bidet stealing his 3rd down snaps and Dobbins playing well. Henderson only has Stevenson ahead of him, but you drafted Henderson in the end of the 3rd, early 4th. That's a problem. So you mix those, all these guys are busts, man, as of now. They might be able to recoup some value, but at this point, it's not looking like it'll happen next week for any of these guys. Genty probably will. Let's take Genty off this like panic meter conversation. Hampton, Henderson, Harvey. The next week, you can't start any of them. I think I would probably start Henderson with most confidence because he's an elite big play guy. But you got to start someone else. Unfortunately, in the case of Hampton and Henderson, you really probably don't have a lot of other options because Hampton was probably your RB1 and Henderson was your RB2. And you felt good because you probably took one in the 1st round and got Henderson in the 4th, and you're like, okay, I'm good at running back. Hopefully you got Javonte Williams because that's a dude that's winning leagues right now for people because I don't even know what his rank is, but he's probably a top 5 running back. He has to be. He just put up 25. Tyson, that seems to be very, very trollish. You have 38 fantasy leagues. I really hope that's not true. I mean, because I play 25, which is like more than anyone ever should play. And if you do have 38, you took Hampton in 27, that's just not good business. I don't care if you got him at value. Never take a guy in that much. I have Tucker Kraft in 11 leagues out of my 25, and that's a lot. Like, that's a hell of a lot. We got Kraft tight end 1, and Njoku the other one. Pick up Juwan Johnson, and Njoku will be benched next week. Oh, Tyson, well, your addiction is I mean, hopefully you got some other good players because Hampton, you're probably 0-2 in a lot of those because Hampton scored 2 points today. He scored 8 points. And here's the biggest problem with Hampton right now is they're winning these games. These are good game scripts. And I know against the Raiders aren't a good defense, but these are good game scripts. And I know the Chiefs have a good rush D, but he's doing this in games that they should be running the ball and they're just not running the ball. Oh, Jesus. Colby says he's playing a guy that has Hampton, Henderson, and Tootin, and he's 2-0. Is it because he's faced like cupcake matchups where teams aren't putting up points against him, or is it like he has Josh Allen and Tucker Kraft or some shit? Yeah, he could have a neighbors. What's going on, Anton? I got offered Waddle and K9 for my London and Shakir. I wouldn't do that trade. Drake London's by far the best player in that trade. What TB says you're cooked if you have Hampton, and I think why you're cooked is because you can't trade him. So you're stuck with a depreciated asset that you can't. He might be fine. I think Hampton might be fine by week 5, week 6, week 7, week 8, most likely. But at that point, you're probably going to be out of the playoff race, and you can't trade him right now. Like I would trade for him. Like I would 100% trade David Montgomery for Hampton right now because I didn't draft. Typically, I wouldn't have drafted Montgomery to be my starter. So I'm giving my bench running back. Here's one for you. I got a good one for you. Let's say you had Jordan Mason as your RB3. And you're going to get, let's say Jones is out 2 weeks. It comes out Jones is out 1 to 2 weeks, not hitting IR. Would you trade Jordan Mason, who's on your bench, mind you, and you could flex him, but let's say you have a Chris Olave or some shit, and Buka, one of those guys is your flex, and you have 3 other good receivers. Would you trade Jordan Mason right now to a team that's hurting with Hampton for that end of season stuff? Because he's going to marinate on your bench. So what do you think? Hampton or Mason? No, the Chargers, I've never seen such an aggressive, like, we were all fucking lied to. Like, Justin Herbert, man. Like, we're lied to because they're just chucking the ball fucking up and down the yard. It's crazy. And Herbert looks great. He looks fucking fit. They said that on the run. I don't know if it was the winning run against the Chiefs. He was clocked at almost 22 miles an hour. So TB says Mason, like, think of where we're at already. Like, we're literally saying we want Mason and Montgomery over a Marion Hampton. And then we're not even talking about Henderson and Harvey. Harvey is by far the most worrisome because Harvey actually doesn't look good. Now, Hampton doesn't look great, but Harvey looks like really regular to me. He looks like just a dude. And all the Alvin Kamara comps, be damned. That's not the case. And Dobbins is looking really spry. And apparently they like Tyler Bidet. So Bucky is a stud, man. He's got a lot of Alvin. He actually has some Alvin Kamara to his game. He's very slippery. He's quite sturdy for 195 pounds. And what I loved about today's game, yeah, he got bolstered with that touchdown at the end, but he had 5 or 6 catches, right? So, like, the involvement, the snap share, they're going to have to rely on that dude. They're never going to give him, like, the Josh Jacobs workload because he's not built for that. But that's fine, and keep him fresh. He's going to be an efficient running back. The touchdowns will come. So Bucky Irving looks good. I was taking Chase Brown over Bucky Irving a lot this year, and that seems to be a mistake. Although I'm still a believer in Chase Brown. Keanu, this must be a shallow league. He says, do I drop Hampton for Jalen Warren? You got to have someone better to drop. You got to have somebody better to drop for Jalen Warren. Now, I might rather have Jalen Warren right now than Hampton because at least you could start Jalen Warren. He had 80 yards receiving. But yeah, I would try to find someone else. You have to have someone else. And if you don't, then you probably just don't need to pick up Warren because you're picking him up for your bench. Warren's only good if he's a starter for you because he's never going to increase in value, right? Tyson says, if you want to know who to play, look at my bench. Yeah, that's a problem when you have a good roster, like especially like if you have 2 good quarterbacks, you always pick the wrong one. What else do we have? I can still do the whole recap show. We're just talking about a couple guys in particular right now, but JJ McCarthy's out. We talked about that a little bit. Jaden Daniels is hurt. So I personally saw the play. I'm sure you guys did, where it was right after Eckler got hurt. And Daniels had like an 8-yard rush. It was on like the 15-yard line. Down by 17 with 6 minutes to go, which is insane. He's in the game. Gets tackled, gets his knee buckled a little bit, and he stayed in the game. I saw the injury. I was like, he's hurt. And lo and behold, Jaden Daniels is highly questionable for this week. And they have no reason to force him back in action. Yeah, they're 1-1. He's their whole fucking franchise. So that's going to be rough. Don't panic on Drake London. The Vikings are really tough for a matchup for a receiver like Drake London. They do a lot of disguise coverages, and they really, really control the intermediate part of the field. So, and they didn't need him in that game. He'll still be fine. Blake, Scatterbo going to be RB1. That was one thing I was going to talk about later, but I'll get to it now. He outsnapped Tyrone Tracy. That is really alarming because Scatterbo is always, we were just talking about him last week saying like, we love Scatterbo here. I love Scatterbo. I have like 5 or 6 shares. But it was appearing that it was going to be because Singletary was playing early in the year a little bit. It was really appearing that it was going to be like a week 7 or on play for Scatterbo. This is really, really encouraging if you're a Scatabo owner because he looked good. The snap share was there. And like if Tyron Tracy's already losing majority of the snaps, like if he's not playing more than 50% already to a rookie that was hurt most of training camp, that is that's damning, bro. That's damning. Who are we talking about? How many? Jaden Daniels? Probably 1 or 2 weeks. But yeah, Scatabo's the thing. Genty doesn't make you nervous early, but Raiders and Geno seem off. Genty doesn't make me seem nervous because Genty is an elite talent. And it was really, really, I guess one thing that was scary to me was, what up, Andre? I'll get to your comment here in a second. I love that. Of course, we're winning all the prop bets, baby. Was Dylan Lobby, who is technically the Raiders RB4, because I would say that Mostert is their RB3, but he's inactive because they just don't need him. They're RB4 right now. They're special teams running back. Dylan Lobby, former 6th-round pick out of New Hampshire. White dude, mind you, white running back. Was playing in the end of the second quarter there before halftime, the 2-minute drill. You saw Dylan Lobby in there. That's a problem. Like, that needs to be Genty. Just put Genty on the fucking field. You're losing the game. So his pass catching, what we were sold, is not going to be there. And if their offense is bad, Ashton Genty is not going to ever, like, people were taking him over Derrick Henry. I know Derrick Henry, you're going to say he had 2 points this week. Yeah, he had fucking 35 or whatever the week before. Derrick Henry's just fine. That's called overthinking things. You're right, DB. They used Drake as a decoy. He looked fine, though. So on the catches and when he got tackled, he looked fine. I didn't see him wince in pain. I'm not worried about Drake's health. That was just a weird game. JJ McCarthy couldn't do squat. So, like, why would they, Penix had 130, 140 yards passing. I'm not worried. Here we go. Here's the comment here. We got Andre, our big CJ Stroud bet last night. I don't know if you guys were on the stream. Unfortunately, our parlay barely didn't hit, but you put a G on that. You put a G on that Stroud rushing total, 8.5. That was the easiest money in the world. Thursday Night Football, I put a lot on Jordan Love, but I have won my last 7 quarterback rushing props I bet, like that I put over like a unit or more on. I'm not worried about Drake at all. I love Drake London. He's fine. I'm not worried about Nico Collins. He's fine. Blake Scatabo is just inevitable. Yeah, he's a coach's pet for sure. You put a G on that then? Because it was minus 138, dude. What up, Jay? The kicker plays smack for 185 too. Dude, you're banking, bro. We talked that one out for sure. Their story. Dylan Lobby is dollar store CMC. That's a very racist comment story, but I do approve of that message. Zamir White is awful. Let the white boy cook. I will say this, that Zamir White actually looks pretty similar to Amarian Hampton right now. Like, did you see the difference when they played? Zamir White looked okay today. He had like 3 catches, bro. Zamir White has bad hands, but hey, he's as good as Amarian Hampton, apparently. I think. I hope. Pretty sure. Again, fellas, I'm going to be on here for a little bit. We get 50 subs. We get 50 likes on this video. I'm giving away a free bet. So, later, Steve. Giving away a free bet. $10 bet. Get your information. Send me whatever. It could be a 10-player parlay, whatever. So, yeah, Hampton looks pretty bad. So, it's fucking rough, man. It is super rough. What are your guys' thoughts on Brock Bowers? Because, hey, Kermit. What are your guys' thoughts on Brock Bowers? Because he is clearly playing hurt right now, and I can't believe they didn't bench him for this game and just tell him to take a week off, because he looks slow, man. He looks slow, and if he's going to play through this all year, this is not what you signed up for as a Brock Bowers owner. You signed up for an elite playmaker, and he just looks like a dude right now. Well, he did make me aroused. I have 0 Brock Bowers shares, so I'm fine. Let him play through the injury and just be like a mid-lane. Like, I'd rather have Tucker Kraft right now if he's going to play through this injury. Maybe that's me overreacting, but they should have rested him. There you go, TB. Like, take the game off. I know you're at home, but you're already 1-0. You're probably not beating the Chargers, and we saw that today. They were way overmatched. That game should have been a 28 to 30 point victory. Geno's just throwing picks all over the fucking yard. So, yeah, let them play if they want to. That's just bad business, because Brock Bowers is their future. What's up, McGuffin? We were just talking about it. We're all panicked about Hampton. I have 0 shares, so I'm just more like laughing at every other channel that I saw, everyone's just like, Hampton's a second-round pick. Hampton's amazing. He should be going next to Genty. Genty's doing pretty rough too. But Hampton's like probably riding the pine next week. And here's the thing we didn't talk about. We talked about Hampton. Najee Harris looked good. Would we all agree? Najee looked good, bro. He looked powerful. He looked quick. He's always been a pretty good receiver, like, reliable hands. So he looked good, and that's a problem. Like, Najee Harris looked like he's back in shape. So would it surprise you next week if Najee Harris played 70% of the snaps? Like, I think that's happening, dude. I really think that's happening. And that's not good at all. Like, that's a big issue. Well, that's because you're smart. The rookie running backs you want to take are the later guys, like Scatabo, right? Like, that's a rookie running back you want to take a shot on. I got really lucky with my tight end shares this year. I have like 6 Trey McBride shares, which he's been just 13, 14 points, but he's healthy. He's fine. I have like 11 Tucker Kraft shares. I have 6 Tyler Warren shares. And then I have 2 Mark Andrews shares. But I'm still riding with Mark Andrews, baby. And then I have a couple Dalton Kincaid. I think that's it, man. I think it's pretty narrow tree with my tight ends. Coach, what's up? Coach with a K. Let's talk about Judkins versus Packers D. Dylan Gabriel starts, has no time, checks it down to Judkins. I think that'd be more of a boom for Samson. But my thing is that Samson's still the receiving down back there, right? So it's more of a boom for Samson. And I don't think I want to start anyone against the Packers D right now. Do you? Do you guys like Dylan Sampson?
I want to talk to Samson. Climbing to the moon like that bitch Alice Cram.
Want to talk to Samson? I'm not starting anyone against the Packers D. Okay. This is a quote right here. I was all in on Warren, got him both leagues. Yeah, Warren is the dude, and that just makes our Bears, my Bears at least, our Colson Loveland pick just look all the more worse. Jags fan here. We got Travis Etienne haters regretting not drafting him. Dude, I've always been a Travis Etienne guy until last year, and then I don't have any. I'd have more Tootin, but we'll see how it shakes out. I'm still not 100% a believer in Etienne, but maybe I'm an idiot. We got man, I need to start betting with you, Rob. Motherfucker's been losing money. As in, like, you've been losing money? Or because we have not been losing money on the channel. I'm up 4 G's since week 1 started. Tootin does look good, but it's Etienne's job to lose. Let's be honest. But I just don't know how good he is. He's a couple fumbles away from. We'll see how it shakes out with LaQuint Allen mixing in there. LaQuint Allen's more of a threat to Tootin, right? Because he's a passing down back. But yeah, we've been killing these prop bets, man. Like the parlay I won, the huge one, $10 to win $1,600. I didn't put that on the channel, unfortunately. I have the bet slip, but that didn't help anyone out. But all the my Friday night show, Beating the Odds, is crushing. So watching the game, Genty just got to clean up his mental cues. Yeah, he'll be fine. Genty will be fine. I'm not worried at all about Genty. I'm worried. The thing is, it was just a bad spot to draft him because you drafted him ahead of those elite back-end first-round receivers, early second-round receivers like Puka. A lot of guys that Puka, Neighbors. Like, I would still rather have Nico in London. Yeah, I get you, DB. Well, let's rethink our inks here, as I say, and start betting smarter and get on this train here because we got it. Cash 3.7K on Chargers money line. Last leg, baby. Let's fucking go. That was an easy win right there. That was an easy win. I use like three different books. You always want to, if you're betting, you always want to have at least 2. I prefer 3, but 2 at least because always just consult with the other book, and any bet you're going to make, there may be better odds somewhere else. I don't like the I have underdog, but I use it for best ball. I don't really do underdog for like their totals. I also, because I spent all my money ahead on there for best ball. I don't like the odds. I think the odds are better for parlays and shit on a sports book. I know you get some boosts, but Whip Hero, Etienne had 90 all-purpose yards, 71 being rushed and receive TD when he's currently the second best running back in NFL yards wise. Yeah, I mean stats will tell you that. I've also watched Travis Etienne play the last 2 years and average 3.6 yards a carry and have awful vision. So I guess we'll have to see. I'm not saying trade him or bench him. Like, you got to start him. It was a good pick at this point. Very good pick where he was going in fantasy, for sure. Double hero RB, man. That's what people were doing. But unfortunately, if you took Genty, it's not good. Yeah. Hey, you guys are loving ETN. I get it. Like, I used to love ETN. Like, I would love ETN coming out. The chemistry you have with Lawrence playing at Clemson, I like that. Yeah, Lee, you got to bench Hampton. I don't care who you have. There's going to be better. Like, I just don't know how much he's going to play next week. Whoa. After week 2, you traded Fields for Tet and at Pacheco? That's fucking gnarly, man. Of course, DB. This is a good question from McGuffin, and I was actually just talking about how do you feel about why doesn't it let me select this? How do you feel about Chase Brown's future? He's getting most of the snaps, but hasn't returned much. My buddy made an interesting point, Kappa, about it's probably a good thing for Chase Brown because they might go a little more run heavy, and I think Browning might be more apt to check the ball down. So that could be a good thing for Chase Brown, but I'd say it's latter. I don't think it's a bad thing for Chase Brown because as of it currently was, they were scoring. Actually, they weren't really scoring that many points, but he'll be fine. I'm not worried about Chase Brown. Bijan did look really good, TB. I made a blockbuster trade for Jamar just for Joe to get hurt. I'm not worried about Jamar. Jamar's fine. Jamar killed it with Browning. I'm more worried about T. Higgins. That would be the guy that was a 3rd round pick, right? Early 4, end of 3 round pick. That's my worry because it's going to be hard for Browning to support 2 elite receivers, where Joe Burrow was able to do that. The yardage numbers are going to be fine. The touchdowns will go down. And T. Higgins really kind of just lives on touchdowns. That's his biggest appeal, right? Right? The 10-plus touchdown guy. So I'm not worried about Jamar at all. Unique has a good one here. Trade away A.J. Brown and Dobbins for Genty and Williams. So you're trading A.J. Brown and Dobbins for Genty and, JMO. So I want Genty over Dobbins for sure. A.J. Brown. Yeah, I would probably do that. Is it half PPR or full, Unique? I don't know if that even really matters. I'm just curious. Because Jamison Williams is much better in half PPR or standard. Just because, I mean, look at the guy. He had 2 catches for 100 yards. Like, those 2 catches is rough. If he doesn't get in the end zone there. Full PPR, I still probably like it because you're trading low on Genty. Well, let's just think of it this way. A.J. Brown was let's just go from like what it was before the season started. A.J. Brown was a back end of the 2nd round pick. Genty was a front end of the 2nd round pick, so I'd rather have Genty. And then Jamison Williams was a 5th round pick, give or take, and Dobbins was a 10th round pick. So yeah, I think in the short term, I'd rather have A.J. Brown and Dobbins for the next like 2 or 3 weeks. In the long term, I'd rather have Genty and JMO. Tesla scares me a little bit, but because Tesla just makes fucking plays like all over the field. But I would take your side. I would take Genty and Williams, honestly. We got Blake saying, we worried about the Broncos defense. For real life or fantasy or both, I mean, I don't think that's the problem. The first defense that we draft every year that people reach on always busts. Like they're always barely even a top 10 defense in fantasy. So they'll be fine. They got manhandled. I don't know how that happened. The Colts have a good O-line. There was film on the Colts from week 1. That's the thing. I don't know what they just might have overlooked the Colts, but Elite says close to a deal right now. Herbert and Javonte to acquire Jalen Hurts. Also have Jaden Daniels. Well, you don't need a quarterback then. I know Daniels might get hurt, but I wouldn't trade Javonte Williams because he's probably starting for you, right? Like I wouldn't go down that rabbit hole because I think you wait a couple more weeks and let Javonte Williams just keep on cooking, dude. He looks great. Yeah, I would do that trade, Unique. Zaddy, Pacheco owners should be like beyond worried because he's cooked right now. He's not playing. Brashard Smith hasn't even like gained a role yet in this offense, and he will. Trust me. Brashard Smith is a souped up Jerick McKinnon, and they love that role in the Chiefs offense. So the offense looks rough. It's going to be bad until Rice comes back in terms of like points scored. Pacheco's playing 40 to 50% of the snaps. He's not getting goal line work. He's not getting third down work. Really bad. Any chance RJ Harvey ever gets a shot? Yeah, he'll get a shot. It might just take a long time, like a long time. This is a real tough one from Elite. Which Chargers wide receiver do you prefer rest of season, Keenan or Quentin Johnston? Dude, I think it's going to be Keenan just because he's so consistent. But, I mean, the numbers ain't lying. Quentin Johnston has 3 touchdowns in 2 weeks. Now, granted, Keenan has 2. But Quentin Johnston's their big play threat. I think I'd rather have Keenan just for the sheer fact that no one on that team, there's not a single player that's not playing in the rookies, right? That's going to take Keenan's role. Where Trey Harris, they did draft in the second round. They like Trey Harris. He's always going to be a project. But Trey Harris comps as a Quentin Johnston type player, ex receiver. So I think Quentin Johnston has more of a chance for someone to eat into his snaps than Keenan Allen. Now, Keenan Allen's probably more likely to get hurt, but I'd probably rather have Keenan. Thoughts on picking up Troy Franklin and dropping Josh Downs? Oh, that's a tough one, man, because Troy Franklin was the number one there. Week 2, he was the number 1 receiver. He played the most snaps. He had 9 targets, 8 catches. He looks good, dude. I didn't ever think he'd be a slot receiver. He's playing that valuable slot role there, and Evan Ingram is done. It seems like Evan Ingram's done. So, and I like Josh Downs, man. I feel like he's going to have a role in this offense. Seems like Danny Dimes prefers Pittman and Warren, and obviously they have JT. So I would probably hold on that one unless you need someone to start. Because I think I'd rather start Troy Franklin next week than Josh Downs. Because Josh Downs, if you remember, was coming off a hamstring injury in preseason. So I like Josh Downs the rest of the season more than Troy Franklin still. I mean, maybe that's crazy. I'm going to go with just track record and a guy I actually do really like. Elite says Javonte is running back 4. I have Gibbs, JT, Genty, Javonte, Hendo, and Aaron Jones. Well, Aaron Jones doesn't count as a running back anymore. But Gibbs, JT, Genty, Jesus. I guess you have to trade Javonte. I would try to upgrade your wide receiver room, man. Try to get a buy low on Drake Leonard and Nico. That's your target. Obviously, Javonte probably won't get that done, but you could pair Javonte with a wide receiver. Ooh, Colby. Yeah, Dynasty. There's some values to be had with veterans in Dynasty because that's the money right there, man. Should I trade Ladd? No, Ladd will be just fine, Tom. How you doing, Tom, by the way? Ladd will be just fine. The thing is, look at it. Quentin Johnson has 3 touchdowns in 2 weeks. Keenan Allen has 2 touchdowns in 2 weeks. Ladd has 0. I know Ladd's not like a touchdown merchant, but Ladd's still the number 1 there, dude. Like you want Ladd McConkey. When push comes to shove, Ladd's the number 1 there. He'll be fine. I picked up QJ. I'm feeling pretty excited about it. I hope it's not fool's gold. It's always a tough start with Quentin Johnson, though. It's always a tough start. But I mean, he's playing a lot of snaps and he does look really good. You're starting Tet McMillan, Elite. Tet McMillan is like a snap share monster, a target share monster, and an actual monster. I missed on that one. I have 0 Tet shares. I'm willing to eat my words. I wish I drafted more Tet McMillan. I wish I would have drafted more because he looks like the real deal, bro. So, Lloyd Gaming says A-Chain for JSM, Mbuka, and Jordan Mason. I'm light on wide receiver depth. I got Jefferson, DK, and Diggs. So you're trading A-Chain, is that right? You're trading A-Chain, you're getting JSM, Mbuka, and Jordan Mason. I would probably do that, bro. You're getting 3. I don't like being the team that gets 3 players. If it's a deep league, a 12-team league, I do that. 10-team league, I don't. Elite, we don't know much about the Aaron Jones injury. I saw it happen in like real time when it happened in the game. It looked just like a little hamstring strain or whatever. He came up a little lame, and then on the sideline he was trying to work it out, and then he took his helmet off and he was out. And then they reported that he's already been ruled out essentially for week 3, which is not a good sign. Hamstring injury, Aaron Jones, who's prone for hamstrings. I think they trust Jordan Mason, so I think it's a 2 to 3 week injury. I doubt he hits IR. But it's going to be multi-game injury. McGuffin, I know I heard like rumblings. Fill me in here. I heard rumblings of BTJ having a wrist injury or something, and they said that was part of the game plan. Even though BTJ played the most snaps of any wide receiver, he played like 90+% of the snaps. So is he going to miss? Yeah, Jaden Daniels is probably missing week 3. It's kind of up in the air, but he's probably missing it. Why would they rush him back? Well, the thing about Downs, Blake, is that he's a nice stash because Pittman tends to get hurt here and there. If I guess Warren's not really an injury prone player, but I just like Downs. I like the talent, man. The metrics are off the charts. Yeah, I think Rashee Rice. I like all here. I'm gonna tell you right now. I want to trade for Mahomes right now. I want to trade for not Pacheco. Okay, everyone but Pacheco. I want to buy in Chiefs right now because in the past they start off the year 5-0 and they coast. The Chiefs cannot coast this year. They are 0-2, bro. So Rashee Rice, they're gonna have to chuck the ball. They might go back to their old school football and just throw the goddamn ball. Elite says, "Am I absolutely cooked with Mark Andrews at tight end?" No, you're gonna roll with Mark Andrews, man. I don't know if you watched that game. I went back and watched every snap of it, and I watched some of it live. Mark Andrews had, I think, 3 end zone targets. One of them he dropped. And Mark Andrews had some rough history recently with drops. This was an easy touchdown. He had another one that just got deflected. So, like, Mark Andrews is going to score his touchdowns, dude. He's still like the red zone preferred option. And DeAndre Hopkins has 2 touchdowns. I looked at DeAndre Hopkins' snap share. He played 16 snaps week 1 and 10 snaps week 2. Fucker's got 2 touchdowns. Mark Andrews is playing 85% of the snaps. I think what you do is, I haven't heard anything about Likely yet. He's probably out another 2 weeks. So Andrews pops off the next 2 weeks to try to move him. But you can't do anything now. I would not start Zach Ertz over him. I wouldn't. I feel more confident in Tet, bro, because Ibuka, if you notice, Ibuka had a hamstring. It was a hamstring or a groin, something that he got his leg wrapped. They showed it on the sideline. And then ever since that happened, that was the second quarter, he looked a little rough. So that's not even the reason. Tet is the number 1 there. Ibuka has Mike Evans to contend with. Bucky Irving's there as well. And you have Chris Godwin coming back. So, and I like Ibuka a lot. He's fine. I wouldn't trade Ibuka. I would maybe even try to trade for him, but hard to do. He's got 3 touchdowns in 2 weeks, but I like Tet more. And I'm not a Tet guy. Tom, 100%, dude. You weren't on the stream yesterday, but I am trying to get some of you guys on here because I've been doing 10 a week, and apparently Story's internet's fucked, even though he's got better internet than me. But I do a lot of these on my own, which is okay at times. I don't mind it, but I got to manage a lot of shit, and it's easy to have someone to kind of take some pressure off me. So I'm gonna post. Here's my email. You guys send me a shout, dude. And as long as you have a decent computer, and a mic isn't necessary, it helps. But and you can talk, right? Because it's like public speaking. It's not that hard. I'll make it easy, bro. You're just gonna be chilling with me. That's what it is, right? Lloyd says, yeah, 12 team. Got Chase Brown and Javonte Williams, so feeling good about running back. Yeah, Chase Brown would be just fine. Justin, what's going on, Justin? I got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Ladd, Evans, Ibuka, Marvin Harrison, and Tet. Got to trade at least one for running back. Who do I trade? I think you might want to trade St. Brown after that week, bro. You can get a lot of value for him. If you can get trying to think, like, what's fair. You want to get someone that was drafted right around him, right? Evans hasn't done enough. Marvin Harris is coming off a bad game. I like Tet long term. You got to try to figure out a way to maybe trade one of them and a bench player to get an even running back. Just got to find a team that makes sense. Find a team that needs a receiver. You need a running back, and you can make a fair deal. I mean, JCM, I'm not trusting. I'm not betting on him. I have no idea how many snaps he's going to play. It seems awesome with Eckler being out, even though Eckler wasn't really his competition because Eckler's a receiving down back. They're going to get Chris Rodriguez involved. They brought in Chase Edmonds. I don't know if that really matters, but TB, Ibuka isn't a better team, but tonight wasn't that encouraging. Hollywood was a bust, Ryan. He had 5 catches, but only 5 targets. Casey's going to be 1-3 from Blake. This is a good one from P. Why is Henderson getting no touches, man? Here's the most discouraging thing about Henderson is they're playing Antonio Gibson. They brought Antonio Gibson in to spell Stevenson on the 10-yard line, like goal to go situation. They're playing fucking Antonio Gibson. Fucked up. So I don't know. He'll be fine. Henderson, I'm least worried about Henderson over all those guys we talked about. Okay, not taking in terms of Hampton, Henderson, and Harvey. I'm least worried about Henderson because I believe the talent, and they're gonna see it. It's just been rough. Jay says, MIA, milk carton, Mark Andrews. He'll be fine. Do not worry about Mark. I mean, I'm worried about him, but you have to start him. The second you don't you give up on him or drop him or something, he's going to score 2 touchdowns. Look what happened last year, 11 tutties. He looked way more cooked last year. He looks fine. He tried. Hey, tonight he tried giving Evans more targets. Elite says, "You really think Jamar will still be top 3?" I do. I'm not worried about Jamar. Jamar's fine. Look at what he did when Burrow went out. He still had like 100 yards of Browning. Cam Little is a fucking monster. Yes, he lives under children's beds. And oh, you did, Blake? I didn't check. I'll check it. I must have missed it. Can I join a chat? Ryan says. In the future, I'm gonna hit my email up, bro. In the future, I'm gonna have you guys on. One guest, couple guests a week here and there. You're still feeling good about Keenan and Ridley for Wilson and Olave? Yes, I am still feeling good about that. Wilson and Olave they're fine. Olave has 10 targets every game. That game the Jets had was just a throwaway, bro, on all accounts, right? Throwaway. Their offensive line was terrible. Their defense was terrible. Their coaching was terrible. Fields was terrible. Fucking Wilson had 2 drops. So not worried about Garrett Wilson. You should worry about Brian Thomas in general, and apparently there's a wrist injury. Just a lot of things. We saw what happened with Tyreek Hill playing through a wrist injury last year. So, hey, Travis, thank you. A lot of people give me shit about him, man. They give me shit. So I do appreciate it. A positive comment on the beard. Thank you. I'm going to shave it soon. I had this for like a month now. It's too long. Usually I do it for like a week or so. Maybe I'll grow out the mustache and just go a mustache for a couple days. We got, how confident are you in Packers money line versus the Browns this week? I mean, the money line is probably gonna be like minus 500, right? Like more, maybe worse. I won't ever fuck with that. Like that's a Jordan Love injury away from maybe losing the bet. Browns have looked frisky, dude. I don't really fuck with lines or like I don't fuck with game lines really either. I do player props. So I think the bet would be trying to think of player prop that would like. Maybe Josh Jacobs receptions because it's been really low. So I like that one. I think I like Josh Jacobs receptions thinking about it. I would just try to find spots. Josh Jacobs has like 2 or 3 catches in 2 weeks. What do you think about Pollard? I was excited to get him in later in drafts. His production has not been there, but his touches have been and his snaps have been. So I'm excited about that. You have 3 or 4, at least 2 or 3 more weeks of him like dominating that. He's playing 90% of the snaps. He hasn't been getting the receptions I thought he would get. But I'm not worried about Pollard at all. I mean, he's a must start at this point because he's one of 9 running backs that's getting 20 touches a game, maybe even less than 9 running backs. So I almost traded JCM for Hollywood. Then 5 minutes later, Eckler Achilles, then went and declined it. Yeah, keep JCM. And Hollywood's also an expiring asset. So, try packaging Brown for Bijan. Okay. Keenan looks like old Keenan Allen, Ryan. I mean, he looks better this year than he did for the Bears because I watched every game last year when he played for the Bears as a Bears fan, and it was not good. He gets a lot of hospital balls. He's small, but he'll be fine until he's hurt. But I'm still pretty optimistic on Olave this year. The targets, dude, he's got 23 targets in 2 games, and he's like missed a couple snaps because of injury. Do I trade Hampton for peanuts and hope someone buys low on his ADP? Don't trade him for peanuts. No, trade for him for peanuts. Hey, good call. Don't shave. Winter's coming. I grows back pretty fast though. I like to try to mix it. Maybe I can do something weird, like maybe a Hitler stash. You think that will work on here? Maybe. Oh God, I was golfing today, so I've been drinking since like, noon. Don't worry about Andrews. Do not panic on Andrews. Well, no. Bears are my team I follow. I'm from Chicagoland. Not really a Bears fan. Okay. Like I'm a fantasy fan. I'm a gambling fan. I like making money. And the Bears are just it's bad. It's bad. I do think Najee took the backfield tonight. It was a combination of Hampton looking bad, not efficient in his runs, his vision. That one. I don't know if you saw the play. It was on the 6-yard line. They gave him back-to-back goal line carries, but it was the first one. I think it was a first down. Maybe it was second down and they ran it on third down as well. The one on second down, whatever the first one was from the 6-yard line, he ended up getting 4 yards. He bounced that fucker way out to the right. He just he's bad vision. So like that hurts him. The fumble was just terrible. And the fact that Najee looked good. So I think it's a 50-50. Dude, I shot 74 and I have a hand injury going on here. So I haven't played in 2 months. That was the first time I touched a club. I worked at a country club for fucking 18 years, so I'm a scratch. It was an easy course. It was only like 6,450 yards. First time I ever played it, though. So I was all right. I couldn't putt. Hit one ball out of bounds, made a double. That killed me. Thoughts on Caleb Williams? Skip. I got something for you. Thoughts on Caleb Williams and just the Bears in general. This is Ben Johnson right now watching the film of the Lions game.
This is where they strip the ball from us, and then we miss one tackle. There are 2 tackles, right? He drops the ball. Whoops, he has time to pick it up and dust it off and run in for a touchdown before our guys even know what's going on.
And right now, losing his fucking mind over this job he took. Oh, God. What was his rushing total, Elite? Was it like 42 or some shit? I'm not worried about. I mean, Swift is still getting all the carries. What was his yeah, Waterboy's great. Hey, if you want a good time, go to my actual channel, and we do in the winter we do movies. I don't know if you like Bill Simmons at all, the rewatchables, great pod. We take that formula, all their categories and shit, and we do like our own movies. We do some that they've done too, but I like to do like original ones, like deep cuts. So we did Waterboy. Pretty good show. Me and 2 of my buddies. A lot of good editing in that. I'd spent like 10 hours editing each of those fucking videos for like 50 people to watch sometimes. But it's a passion of mine. Those videos live forever, bro. What was his number, though, Elite? Hampton's number. Alternate line for 25 yards, and he only got 23. Damn. So he almost had it. So if he just didn't fumble, he would have easily got it because he would have got those carries to salt the game away. That's rough, man. You cannot bench Caleb Williams, though. This is not his rookie year, right, Ryan? Like, you can't do it. You can't do it. And again, we've seen Tyson do okay in spot starts and do good in the preseason. So trade away Dobbins and Tracy Jr. for Bucky Irving. Yeah, bro. But Tracy's losing his job as we speak. Like, currently, right now, I'm pretty sure Brian Daboll has him in his office, and he's like, you know what? We're going with Cam Scatterbo because he's white or something like that. I don't know. Daboll seems like a racist. I just read that somewhere. Oh, King Henry. Well, that was rough, man. Hey, better days ahead, man. That's the thing about gambling. I think I'm finally up money for my life because I've wagered like fucking $350,000 or $400,000, and the juice will just kill you. Had some rough stretches. I'm in my hottest stretch I've ever had right now because I've never been more plugged in the NFL, and I'm being more disciplined. I think it's got to improve because it can't be worse. Kevin O'Connell is incapable of coaching a team that's not a top 10 offense. So I'm not saying they're going to be top 10 with Wentz, but they won't be bottom 10. Right now, they're bottom fucking 5. So, yeah, not worried about Vikings offense. And the thing is, you get Addison back after week 3. So week 4 going forward, you're fine. I'm worried about TJ Hawkinson. TJ Hawkinson looks fucking terrible, dude. Like, I'm way more worried about Hawkinson than Mark Andrews. Well, don't worry about King Henry because he won you week 1. And I doubt, like, he was way more likely to win you week 1 with that performance than he was to lose week 2 for you, because I have Henry in 4 leagues, and I think I still went 3-1 this week, maybe 2-2, but I won all 4 of those the first week because he fucking went off. So we got a 16 game straight money line, $40 for a 115. Whoa, went 15-6 and a buddy of yours, 16 game straight money line, $40 for 115K payout. Damn. You know who really fucked him? This is another guy we didn't talk about in the rookie running backs that are just in doghouses. I think the ultimate doghouse right now is Caleb Johnson because he's the reason the Steelers lost that game. They have him on kick return somehow, which is just insane. They drafted him in the 3rd round. He's a kick returner, and he's not even like a fast player. Like, he's more of a bruiser, so he doesn't comp as a guy that should be like Caleb Johnson should not be getting kick returns. And he fucking touched the ball and let it roll in the end zone, and the Vikings scored a touchdown on that on the kickoff. That's the reason they lost that game. I think the Steelers were going to win that game, bro. Any tips or things you've realized on your hot streak? I'm a good bettor as well. More discipline. So I do my show every Friday, Beating the Odds, and I pick usually 3 prop bets every week that I put like a full unit on, which is like $150 or $200, whatever I do in that year. In the past, I go on win streaks and I up my unit to like fucking 400, and then I start losing, and like that's a bad strategy. Never change your unit. It's like same as blackjack, right? Like you kind of just keep the same bet most of the times. And then not sprinkling everything. I do whatever boosts I get for parlays, but not just sprinkling. I used to do like 15 different player props and put like $30 in each. That's just too much, dude. Like I want to go with my gut more and like plays I think are for sure. So that's what I've been doing more this year. I've been hitting all my big bets and I hit a couple giant parlays. Parlays are fine if you just put a little bit on them. I don't like people putting like 10 leg parlays for like $50 like that. The guy put $40 on. Even though he almost won. That's what Vegas wants you to do. Caleb Johnson's done. I love Caleb Johnson. I think I would still possibly buy, but it's like if you need to drop Caleb Johnson, like there's not a lot of light at the end of the tunnel. Where like some of these other guys, I see a path for them to like overtake whoever and like get some touches. This guy's a kick returner. Now he's not even gonna be a kick returner. So for sure, dude. Thanks, dude. You're gonna enjoy it. There's like 20 of those fuckers on there. 25 movie pods. So Vikings are horrible. Hey, Robert Parks, my boy. What up, man? Got a good name. I use alternate lines on parlays only, but I like to move it the other way, dude. I like to do like a 3-teamer, and then like move it the other way. So if I can to get better odds. So like what I like to do if a team, so what I did this week that I won a lot on was I made the Patriots -2.5. I like moving teams that are like getting 2 points to -2.5. Sometimes it sucks when they win by 1, but instead of getting it at -115, that 4-point move, which is a pretty inconsequential, ends up getting me like +156 instead of -110. Maybe it's even like +170, whatever. Like that's really valuable to me in a parlay. Hello, Camerling. It's a cool name. Are you big on anytime TDs or more yards? Only yards. I like first touchdown scorers. So if I'm going to fuck with betting, so my big bet, a lot of you guys saw this. It was Sunday Night Football Week 1. Dalton Kincaid was 20-1 for first touchdown. I tossed that in there. Henry's rushing, Coleman's receiving line, all standard lines, and then Josh Allen's standard passing line, and that was 160-1. So it was $10 to win 1640 or something. But it was the Dalton Kincaid 20-1 touchdown, first touchdown. So I love the first touchdowns. I like deep shot first touchdowns. I don't like betting on guys that are like 3-1. I like starting tight ends, somewhat mobile quarterbacks like a Justin Herbert. Anytime you get a quarterback like Jordan Love, Justin Herbert, Baker Mayfield, Caleb, not Danny Dimes because he's not going to be that high in terms of the odds. But guys that can sneak it in or just third and 5 from the 5-yard line, third and goal from the 5, 20-1. They're a way better chance. Joe Burrow's lost for the season. It breaks my heart. I'm pretty rough on that one too. I had him in 5 leagues. I will say this. I'm good, Robert. How are you? The biggest thing about losing a quarterback, it sucks. They're so replaceable. If you lose a starting running back, if you had Derrick Henry, God forbid, Jahmyr Gibbs gets hurt, and Jahmyr Gibbs is a good example because most likely you don't have Montgomery, so you don't have the handcuff. That's hard to replace because you're never going to replace that. You can still recreate 70% of Joe Burrow from the waiver wire. Now, there's a chance you won't, and it'll be 50% of Joe Burrow. But it's much easier to replace a quarterback because the waiver wire is usually pretty flush. Steelers are Pats this week. Oh, man. That's got to be like a 1.5-point line, right? Pretty much a pick 'em. Again, I'm not good at picking these games, bro. Like, I'll tell you what I think. But, like, my wife, granted, she plays 11 fantasy leagues. But I do draft them, and she's learning. This is her 3rd year. She's still learning. She is beating me. She's 2-0 now, and we pick the games like a survivor pool, but just like not a survivor, but like a confidence pool, just me and her. She's beating me. So I don't know if you want my my advice there. A-Chain first TD Thursday. I'm guessing that is against the Bills. I can guess it. So it's gonna be like lower than you think, like plus 850 plus 7. Let's say 7-1 for A-Chain. That's just a guess. Daniel Jones is my starter now. Thoughts? I think Daniel Jones is fine. I wouldn't expect him to keep up these rushing touchdowns and everything, but that offense looks professional. He looks good. He's got a lot of pass catchers. Not easy though. Yeah, nothing's easy. Serious question: do I drop Joe Burrow? Kittle is filling my R spot. Probably because you don't want to have to drop a bench player. You're gonna have to pick up a quarterback, and Kittle you have to keep. So Joe Burrow is probably. I'm in 25 redraft leagues. My wife's in 11, so I pretty much manage those for her too. She does start sit. She runs them all by me, but I draft her teams. Yeah, 25 of my own. That's 7 G's in this year. Every year I have at least 6 or 7. Yeah, you have to drop Joe Burrow. It sucks. The earliest he can come back, mind you, is 3 months from now, which leaves him at week, what is that? Week 13-ish? Yeah, and like then what are you even getting? And if the nice thing is, I will say the one nice thing is with Joe Burrow right now is that the Bengals are 2-0. If they were 0-2, you just drop him because he's not coming back. Because if they're out of the playoff race, why the fuck would Joe Burrow come back? If they can go 500 in the meantime, and they're already 2-0, and they're fighting for that 7th spot, he probably comes back. But I would rather keep the roster spot, man. I'm going to see the leagues I have them in mostly. It's 18 round drafts, right? So there's 8 bench spots, full PPR, 12-team league. 8 bench spots. I'm going to debate it, but there's no IR. So I don't know. I have to think it over because I have Jordan Love and I have Herbert in those leagues as backup. So I'm pretty fine with those guys. But it's rough, man. Kenneth Lamar, who's a legend? You talking about I'm a legend? I'm just a dude, man. I'm a dude that likes to drink beer, watch football, watch porn, gamble, play golf, play drums. Yeah, I would probably drop okay, so here's a good one. If you have Alec Iomanner, right? Who's a perfect last bench spot stash right now. You want to get rid of Iomanner to keep Burrow. I think it also depends your record, right? If you're 2-0, I'm more likely to keep Burrow. If you're 0-2, you might need that roster spot. Reese, your Niners are always hurt. They'll always be hurt. All my buddies are Niners fans for some reason. They're hurt. I'll show you this. I got this badass guy right here, Niners fan. See that P. Willis jersey? It's not signed, actually, unfortunately. The other ones I have are signed, but I don't know. I got to think it over with Burrow because hopefully we get some information here with a little bit more concrete timetable. And I think the surgery, I don't know if they announced it. Is it happening tomorrow? Oh, yeah, Burrow is a legend, but he's also missed. This will be the 3rd season Joe Burrow's missed due to injury. And that's not really a reflection on Joe Burrow. It's a reflection on the Bengals not giving that man an offensive line and investing in players around him besides wide receivers. I mean, Andre, I would think that it's going to be Bills by 1 million, but I was a little encouraged by the Dolphins this week, dude. A little encouraged. I tend to agree with you on the Burrow thing. It just depends on your league. If you have an open IR spot, obviously keep him, but Blake, it unfortunately kind of appears that way because he can't stay healthy. And this is now the 3rd full season he's missing. He tore his ACL and it was his 2nd year. Was it his rookie year or 2nd year at ACL? I think it was his rookie year. Then he had the hand injury, that weird wrist hand injury that was like week 8 of 3 years ago or 2 years ago. And then now this year, 3 different injuries too, fluky ass injuries. So Andre, yeah, you should have, I would not have started Hampton this week. Again, it's hard for me to speak on that. I have 0 Hampton shares. Praise the Lord. Not that I even really believe in that, but yeah, it's rough. You got to bench Hampton, especially after the fumble. Like if you weren't benching him before the fumble, now you're looking at him not getting carries next week. I guess my only pushback from that elite is what are you getting with Joe Burrow when he comes back? Because I know he doesn't make his hay from like being a scrambling quarterback. He doesn't get really rushing touchdowns, but he's not Jared Goff out there. But it's going to kind of hinder his ability in the pocket, and their offensive line already sucks. So now you have an immobile statue back there who's coming back hurt, who's rusty. I just don't know. I know it's hard, man. It's hard to cut ties, dude. It's hard. It's like keeping your ex-girlfriend's phone number in your fucking phone. It's hard to cut ties. Sometimes you just got to fucking cut it. I'm not telling you either way because I haven't thought it out this much yet. I'm still in mourning. I have 5 Joe Burrow shares. I'm still in mourning. Because Joe Burrow was a great target this year. Joe Burrow was going in the 5th round. He was a great target. it looks like Lamar was just a clear one because Josh Allen has those giant blow-up games. He has 4 or 5 every year, but he has games like we just saw with the Jets where he has 130 yards passing, 50 rushing, and they have like 4 rushing touchdowns with like Cook and fucking Ray Davis, where Lamar always gets 2 touchdowns. I feel like Lamar always has 2 touchdowns. That Bucs game was great. That Bucs game. I mean, it was bad at the beginning. It was great at the beginning. So the first quarter was awesome. Second and third quarter were trash, and the fourth quarter got exciting. Baker's a fucking. I just told my wife when we were watching, I was like, the Browns have to be sick to their stomach because they gave away. Okay, let's throw all the Deshaun Watson shit aside, which was just insane. Just paying him in general, trading for him, and all they gave up for him. And what we're all forgetting is they gave away Baker Mayfield for nothing, for absolute 6th round pick, bro. And he's on a fucking super cheap contract relative to his contemporaries, and he's just a winner, bro. Everyone loves him, fans love him. His teammates all glow about him. And he won a playoff game for Cleveland. Like, it's not like Cleveland are like rolling in playoff games. Like, it's rough. I cannot believe they did that. It's the worst decision ever. Baker has aged like fucking wine, dude. Fine wine. Of course he has, man. And I love him, man. I kind of like him coming out. I like his attitude, and it's good at it. It's not Johnny Manziel attitude, right? It's team guy attitude. And he's gonna talk shit. He's gonna he backs it up, right? Because he puts his body on the line. Like the Cam Newton play, I think back in the Super Bowl when he just didn't dive on that fumble. Dude, Baker Mayfield will like run into a burning building to save a kitten. You know, like Cam Newton would just like call the fucking fire department. He probably wouldn't. He'd just walk away. He'd probably like smoke a fucking blunt or something. Sorry, I'm not trying to rip on Cam Newton too much, but he took him to the playoffs and won a playoff game. That was an epic game, if you remember, against the Steelers. It was like weird because it was a Cleveland-Pittsburgh game. It was like 45 to the 39 or some shit. Law Dog. Football players are like watching girls on OnlyFans. Disgusting display of human behavior. You know, I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one because not all football players, but most of the OnlyFans thing. I think the disgusting display is guys that are willing to pay money to watch girls naked when you can get it for free. You can see it for free on the internet, not pay for it, or you can assert yourself if you're a decent looking man like myself, and you can get these girls on your own and you can have them send pictures to you. So that's the disgusting display. The girls, strippers, all that shit, if they want to do that shit, whatever. I'm not here to judge them. I'm judging the men that are enabling this behavior by paying money. Right? Do we all agree with that one or what? It's the guy. It's the guy's problem. The stripper, like the guys are the ones that are embarrassing. They're going to spend $200 to watch some chick fucking strip. Oh, that was a good game, Blake. That was a good game. That was his coming out party, right? Am I an idiot for trading Tyreek and DK for Chase? Tyreek's such a fucking X factor and wild card. Probably not, dude. Jamar Chase is the number 1 player in fantasy. Baker actively loves rushing just to get smacked. Yeah. Dude, if he wasn't in the NFL, he would be like a boxer or an MMA or some shit. Or he'd be like a member of Jackass, right? Johnny Knoxville's right-hand man. Oh, I miss old Jackass and CKY. What a good show. What a good concept. Rip Ryan Dunn. Rip Ryan Dunn. That makes sense. There's a couple destinations he could go. I could see him going to the Packers with their wide receiver issue, Tyreek to the Packers. Anywhere he goes, it's probably going to be better just because Miami is such a dumpster fire. Our team is now Hurts, JT, Chase, Lamb, Andrews, Tet. Yeah, dude, Tet's a badass. And I'm telling you, stick with Andrews. I can't believe it. I'm looking to bet on, I know DraftKings sometimes, I know they used to let you bet on like players' fantasy points because I'm not sure if he's going to catch 2 touchdowns or he's going to have 80 yards or something. I'm going to bet Andrews' fantasy points because Andrews is going to have a big game. He has to. He always does. He's had 2 fucking duds in a row. Who should you look at to replace Burrow? It depends who's available. Sometimes you'll have Jared Goff available. Don't cut Andrews, Robert. Don't cut him. He's not performing well, but it's Mark Andrews. He's still going to catch a touchdown. I bet you in the next 5 games, Mark Andrews catches 3 touchdowns, which is more than can be said for any waiver wire tight end. Scenario nights. Trade away Lamb and Dobbins for St. Brown and Bucky. You're getting St. Brown and Bucky? 100%. Dude, Dobbins is the easiest trade in the world right now. He's coming off 2 games with touchdowns. Everyone's just bailing on RJ Harvey, which I'm kind of one of them, but I'm also not propping up Dobbins. Like I only have one share of Dobbins, and it's in a public league, Fantrax league. I can't trade. There's no trades. I would trade Dobbins in a heartbeat. And I think here's the thing. Tyreek needs to go to a stable situation with a respected head coach and good infrastructure, right? And he'll get motivated and not being such a crazy fuck. I think there's a couple teams that come to mind. The Eagles, not that they need them because they don't throw the ball. They only play rugby over there. It'd be Packers, obviously the Chiefs because they know him there and they would love him. I'm trying to think of a couple other teams that could work, but there's not many. You don't want to send him to the Raiders, right? We saw that with Randy Moss. It didn't work. I traded away Kraft. No. I actually made the best trade for Kraft right before the season because I still had 8 drafts left, and I only had like 5 shares of Kraft out of like 17 leagues. And I was like, I need more Kraft. I traded Evan Ingram and Rico Dowdle to the Chuba Hubbard owner for Evan Ingram. Or I traded Evan Ingram and Ingram and Dowdle for Kraft and an IDP. So happy about that. Yeah, it does suck to get rid of Lamb, but you're also trading. You're getting who else are you getting? Bucky and St. Brown, dude. Not even. I don't care if Lamb's the wide receiver 1. You're going to win that trade. That's the point, Blake. Is that Mark Andrews is very inconsistent because he doesn't rely on yards like a Trey or catches or yards like a Trey McBride. He is a touchdown dude. That's a good one. So glad I got Cook in round 3. Genty looking like a bust. Cook might have been the most undervalued player. It was all the clamoring that we knew the touchdown regression had to happen, right? Which apparently it's not happening. And it was the holdout. And I think it was the fact that everyone was propping up Ray Davis, who I love Ray Davis, but Ray Davis is a handcuff. And that offense just is amazing. They're going to run the ball. So that was very, very, the Commanders. I don't know. It would be good. I just don't know, again, the infrastructure coach and all that works there. It makes sense for a spot, right? But does it work there with those players and a young quarterback? You really want Tyreek Hill coming in poisoning your locker room? Traded Pickens, Javonte, and Kraft and Godwin for Lamb. That's a lot, bro. You traded a lot for Lamb. Holy shit. I mean, preseason, it didn't seem like a lot because Javonte was like a 9th round pick. Kraft was a 10th round pick. Pickens was a 6th rounder, and Godwin's nothing. Yeah, Justin. And well, beyond just the tush push thing, like you're saying, the laterals and all that kind of stuff. But I think the tush push, like, they should do that. That's one thing a lot of people overlooked, and I have zero Genty shares. My wife, I took her one time in my wife's league, one of her leagues. They didn't address her offensive line at all, and we just expected a running back to fix it, which is not always a quick fix because there's more to it than just having a better running back, right? I don't think anyone did. I will say Geno Smith, I think, is a decent replacement stopgap if you have Joe Burrow. I think more so if you have Brock Purdy because I like some of his matchups coming up. Geno's a chucker, man. He chucks the fucking ball. How highly would Ray Davis be looked at if he was a starter somewhere? Well, I can just speak to where I would rank Ray Davis if James Cook tore his ACL tomorrow. Knock on wood. I don't want to do that to somebody. I would probably have Ray Davis like RB15 weekly. I think he'd be a mid to high end RB2. We'll see about Andrews. I know it's easy to write the guy off, but the thing is, we did the same exact thing last year. And I guess last year there's more of an excuse because he had that injury and he had like a car accident or whatever. So he was like playing hurt to start the year. We did the same thing last year, and he was tight end 3 on the year. Or tight end 4. He had fucking 11 touchdowns. So also traded Fields and Debo for Hurts. I like that one. Jalen Hurts is easy money in fantasy, dude. Genty will still be fine. Like, I'm not worried about Genty. Like, he's going to be fine. Eventually, they're going to just be like, why are we playing Zamir White? Why are we playing Dylan Lobby? Let's just play fucking our best player we drafted 6th overall in the NFL draft as a running back, which is unheard of. Mark Andrews is actually pretty young, dude. He's the same. He's like 29, I think. And he looks old, but he's like 29. It's not like he's fucking 50. On average, if you're winning your weeks, are you less aggressive with trades? Yes. I'm not like, I'll look for a spot. So I'll try to, again, I'm in six redrafts, like 6. I'm in 25 leagues, redraft leagues. I'm in 6 home leagues that allow trades. The other 18, there's no trades. Deep benches, there's waivers and shit, but no trades because they don't want collusion. So I only have 6 leagues. I can't do that. I used to do 10 home leagues, and it's just too much to pay attention to. Because the biggest part about trading is finding a trade partner. There's ways for both teams to win trades, right? Find a team that needs a running back. You need a wide receiver. Match made in heaven. So it's more about what you can get and who your trade partner is. So I'm more looking to pillage. That's the advantage of having a fast start in fantasy, because you can afford to make some aggressive trades and try to pillage the rosters, maybe some injured guys. And I don't necessarily love trading for injured guys, but as an example, if a team is 2-5 and a guy is out for a week or two, they can't afford to have him on their team. So you can get him for pennies on the dollar. So those are the trades I like doing. No, dude, Mark Andrews is like 28 or 29, I think. Yeah, story. I picked up Geno Smith and where it's at because I had Burrow and he was available on waivers. And I just wanted somebody in case everyone picked up quarterbacks. Who had 10 carries tonight? Genty? Yeah, well, they didn't run the ball at all, Reese. Okay, Mark Andrews just turned 30 9 days ago. Okay, I thought he was 29, but. Well, Nick, I think you're failing to mention that Kamara is killing it too. I think he has 1 touchdown, but he's getting 20 touches a week. So, again, those are guys, especially Kamara. I'm looking to trade Kamara if I had him. Wait, I'm going to give him 2 or 3 more weeks to keep on rising in value, wait for a couple other running back injuries to hit, and then swap him for a younger back. I am off on Kelsey, my dude. I am off on Kelsey. He looks terrible. Although I did just say I would want to trade for all Chiefs just because I know they're going to go in FU mode if they're capable to do that. But like they're 0-2. We've never been in this situation with Mahomes and Reed before where they're going to be desperate, dude. Hey, 30's not that old. Okay, that's 7 years younger than me. Let's just. I know it's football, right? And 30 is kind of old for a tight end. But Kelsey's 33, right? Hawkinson's like 28. Well, Mahomes has been doing a lot with his feet, though, on the ground, man. He's going to be fine. I love trading for Mahomes right now. I feel like he's my number 1 target. So if you had Joe Burrow and someone has Mahomes and they might have drafted someone decent to back him up, fucking go after Mahomes. Kelsey is 35. Holy shit. Holy shit. God, we got Story here backing me up on the fucking. You want to try to join again, Story? I'm going to be doing another, I don't know, 40 minutes or so if you want to join. If not, I get it. It was rough, but sucks because this would have been I mean, come on. He's the professional. I'm the fanatic. So we're missing the professional part of the show. So it fucking hurts my soul. Do you think the Chargers running backs will improve or is it a lost cause? No, they're going to improve because they're going to start running the ball more. They're going to have to. Unfortunately, I don't know which one that's going to be. I'm guessing it's going to be Najee for the near future. Well, Hawk's play on the field is just terrible. Hawk Tua, man. Well, we all hate Mahomes, but unfortunately, like my money, I care more about money than hating Mahomes. So, like, if I have to root for him in fantasy, I have Mahomes in 3 leagues. I got him in like the 6th, 7th or 8th round, I think. Super late. I'm fine with him. He'll be fine. It's the best value you're ever going to get on him. Yeah, I think he is a little overrated. Like Josh Allen's a better quarterback right now than Patrick Mahomes. Lamar's a better quarterback too. Sorry, Bob. I don't know if I missed your early message, but you said ETN. Fat fingers. I got a fat cock, so I'm kidding. It's average. Oh, thanks, Alex. Appreciate you, man. Every night, man. I've been on every night since the season, since like draft season. I've been doing all the live stream. I live streamed every one of my drafts. Not everyone, but most of them. Oh, should I try to spend some fab on Tootin with ETN on my team? Yeah. How deep's the league and what's your fab? Is it like $100 fab? Yeah, dude. Tootin's a lottery ticket, man. He's gonna start playing more snaps. He already has. I mean, he had a touchdown reception in week 2, but. What's your fab in your league format? Is it full PPR? Just certain things like that. I can give you my personal recommendation. I put Tootin up there with the elite handcuffs with $100 fab and 12-team PPR. Who do you have to drop? Do you have like an easy drop for him? Because that is also a thing. I don't want to spend money on him to drop someone like Rico Dowdle, for instance. I'm not saying Rico Dowdle is like the shit, but Rico Dowdle is a clear handcuff. And I like Tootin more than Dowdle, but would I rather have Dowdle in all my fab or Tootin and $85 in my fab? I'd probably rather have Dowdle. So if you have someone that's like understandable to drop, like a Marion Hampton, RJ Harvey, I'm just kidding, not those guys. So just a little more info, and I can give you my take. Jaden Blue, there you go. You should just throw him in a fucking fire. Elite, you came to the right channel because this is all about handcuff running backs. I am one of my names in my team names is the Kinky Sheriff because I have all the handcuffs. I have all the Blake Corum shares. I have all the Algier shares. It doesn't always work every year. Last year didn't work at all because everyone stayed healthy. But handcuff running back 100%. Like a wide receiver 3, I mean, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example of like a wide receiver 3 you'd want to roster. I think an example would be like a rookie maybe because there's upside there, like a Luther Burden. Like give me the fucking, I know like rookie receivers tend to pop off the second half of the year, but handcuff running backs tend to pop off when injuries happen, and injuries are going to happen. They're already starting to happen. So I'm going handcuff running back, but I'm not reaching for someone that I don't know is a handcuff. We're going to do probably midweek. I'll do a show for like ranking all the handcuffs. Cause like last year was an example, like Braylon Allen, we all thought was the handcuff. I held him all year, like the player, was actually producing well as the number 2. And then Breece Hall missed 2 games, and Braylon Allen averaged like 9 points in fantasy, and Isaiah Davis was playing ahead of him. So we got to identify the spots, and I'll give you, like I just talked about Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle is the guy. Well, you're tickling my spot here because I'm the biggest Cedric Tillman fan in the world. He's actually the wide receiver 1 in Cleveland, by the way. But I mean, I'm kind of making a joke there, but he's, in terms of routes run, targets, fantasy points, he's the number 1. Algier and Corum and Benson. Dude, Benson, I would probably rank it Benson, Algier, Corum, and then Tootin last. Tootin has the easiest chance to, like, earn the role, if that makes sense, like, overtake the starter, because I don't believe in ETN as much. Corum is right there with them, but, like, Algier and Benson, I have Benson highest just because James Conner's likelihood to get hurt is the highest because Bijan Robinson's an iron fucking man. He's an iron man. So I like Algier the most. Like if Algier was starting for the rest of the year, like tomorrow, Algier's an RB1. Benson's like a front end RB2, I feel like. And Corum's a mid-range RB2. The nice thing about Corum is if you watch the game, he got those goal line looks. He got some snaps, more than we've ever seen McVay play his backup. When you watch Corum come in the game, it looks different. And maybe it's because you're used to watching Kyron Williams, tiny ass, who's like 15 pounds less than Corum, 10 pounds less than Corum, and slower. And his jump cuts aren't great. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know. Go back and watch the film, man. Corum looked like he was shot out of a fucking cannon on some of those runs. I love Corum. He did not look this good in Michigan. Yeah, that's the play with Benson. Benson's more playable, probably. I know Algier had like 16 carries or something. That game, throw that game out. That was a weird game with Minnesota being inept on offense. Benson has a role. It's not a great role, but it's a role, and especially in PPR, he's good for 2 or 3 catches a week. Elite, I am not so sure on Ollie Gordon. His value was so high, bro, before draft season, like before the week 1. The last week of drafts, I was seeing Ollie Gordon go in the 9th round, and I was getting Algier in the 14th. So I think he'd be fine, but again, he's one of those guys that we thought he was for sure the handcuff. People were telling us all the shows I watch, and I didn't buy it. I have some Ollie Gordon, but I was getting him in the 14th before his stock went up too much. They were telling us that Ollie Gordon was going to be like a Raheem Mostert, like a 2.0, right? Benson and Bill, my handcuffs. Yeah. Bill's not even so much a handcuff anymore. JCM looks good. Corum did look good. He played well at Michigan, but he may have just he's just more athletic. I don't like Kyron Williams, man. I never have. For fantasy, he's fine, but you're not getting a lot out of him right now. It's all right, Brian. You probably won week 1 because of Henry, and you lost week 2 from Henry. That's usually not his MO. He's usually going to get you 90 yards and a touchdown every week. He's going to get you mid-range RB1 numbers with that ability to pop off. He does have these stinkers because he doesn't have any pass-catching ability, and he can get game scripted out of games from time to time, which is rare with the Ravens. That's the problem with D. Henry, but I'm not worried. Ooh, that's a good one. So Kendre Miller is weird because, like, I'm actually more confident that Kendre Miller would be the starter over Ollie Gordon. If in terms of if Achane got hurt and Kamara got hurt, I'm more confident Kendre Miller is going to be the lead back, whatever that means. But Kendre Miller has a lot of injury concerns of his own, and this is the first time he's actually been healthy. But I think he'd be okay. The problem is I'm not going to put him up with the guys we're talking about because the guys we're talking about are on better offenses. We're talking about the Saints offense. But Kendre Miller looks pretty solid. Hey-o, 2-0 for the first time in years. Bask in it, bro. Bask in it. Touch yourself a little bit. Go drink a shot. I don't know. Whatever you got to do. But enjoy it because in fantasy, we know it sometimes doesn't last, but it's a nice start. 2-0. 3-0 is the number. If you get to 3-0, I saw a stat on this on a pod I was listening to. 3-0, your chance of making the playoffs is 85%. Because let's say usually it's 14 weeks, right? In the fantasy regular season. 8 and 6 typically makes the playoffs in most leagues, especially if you have the point tiebreaker, which you probably have pretty decent points if you're going to be 3-0. That just means you have to go 5 and 6 the rest of the way. You can go under 500 and probably make the playoffs. So yeah, 3-0 is the money spot, dude. Elite, this is tough because they like Sean Tucker there. So this is one of those weird ones where I don't think Rachaad White is necessarily the one-to-one handcuff. I think he'd get more work. I think Rachaad White would be a 60% snap player. But Sean Tucker, they like. Sean Tucker is amazingly efficient. He's a monster of a man. So that's the worry there where, I'm pretty confident Kendre Miller gets the full role. Now, if it was the 60% White versus 80% Miller in terms of their snap shares, if they were the starter, I'd rather have Rachaad White at 60% with that offense. But I'm looking at the other guys. Rico Dowdle's a guy that I know can handle a fucking full workload. We saw it last year with Dallas. And Chuba, if Chuba got hurt, I like Rico Dowdle over both those guys. Yeah, that's hilarious. You have Henry and Allen. Yeah, man. So you dominated week 1 and won by 50, and then you probably lost by fucking 30. Ooh, this is a tough one. This is why I hate 10-man leagues. Because 4, it should be 4, right, Elite? It should be 4 because it shouldn't be more than half the leagues. The teams make it in a league. But here's the problem with that. Unless you do 2-week playoff matchups, there's no advantage to getting first place in a 4-man league. In a 4 making the playoffs league. In 6, I love giving the bye weeks because if you get top 2, you deserve a fucking bye, and you should only have to win 2 games to win your championship. If it's 12 teams, it's perfect, right? The teams that get 3 through 6 have to win 3 playoff games to win the championship. That means you have a huge advantage. When you do 4 teams, the only advantage is the matchup. And what the hell is the difference between playing the 4th best team or the 3rd best team? Sometimes it's not even an advantage. So I still prefer 6, even in 10 teams. I know it's stupid. In my league, I had to make one of my home leagues. I have 2 that I am a commissioner of. We made it a super flex with 10 teams, went from 12 to 10. I added a second tight end position. It's super deep, but I make it at 6 playoff teams just because I want to reward the top 2 teams with a bye. And the rest of the teams still have to win 3 playoff games. What's going on, Mark? We got 4 bench spots and picked up Quinshon Judkins, put him on IR. He is active now. I need to drop someone. I got Benson and Robinson Jr. You got to have someone else. Do not drop Benson or Robinson Jr. I would rather drop Judkins than Benson and Robinson Jr. Honestly, I know Judkins is more playable, but you can't drop Harvey either, man. You're not going to be starting any of these guys, right? They're all on your bench. I'll get your question in a second, Logan. Right, Brian. It gives people more chance to win, but I'm just more thinking of I don't like not rewarding anyone for getting first place. There's no advantage to getting first place or second place in the regular season if you do 4 playoff teams. And I always do payouts for top points and shit like that, but I want an advantage for top 2. So that's the problem. 4 is normal in 10, yeah. But I'm not a fan of it. Just like I said, I like to have the top 2 seeds should have an advantage. And what's nice too, when you have the 6 playoff teams and you have the 2 buys, you want to do playoff reseeding, which means that It's like they do in the NBA where like you if you're the first seed, you're automatically facing the lowest available seed after the thing. It's not like a bracket situation. It just reseeds. So like if the 6 seed wins or the 5 seed wins, that's the lowest seed, you face it. That's another advantage of getting first. What do I think of Quentin Johnston? I think he's killing it right now. He had 8 touchdowns last year. He's not the bust that we were sold after his rookie year, but I'm not necessarily trusting him in fantasy. I also saw Trey Harris playing a little bit more this week, and I guess we'll see. But he looks good, man, and he has a role in that offense for sure. Again, if you guys are new to the channel, please subscribe, like the video. If we can get 50 likes, if we can get 50 subs in this video, I'm giving away a free bet, $10 bet. You bet on whatever you want, parlay, whatever. No sweat to you. I place it on DraftKings. I Venmo you if you win. I already did 2 of them so far. One dude almost won. Chase hit 7 of 8, 7 legs out of 8. Would have been $1,100. I'm a man of my word. I'm not gonna take your money. I mean, again, you're not giving me any money. I'm just placing the bet. So. How grimy would it be to up it to 6 so I can get in? Well, you definitely can't change it. You can't change it now because that is grimy. I hate that kind of shit. Black Lightning, do you know any karate? No. I took someone when I was like a little kid for like a year, but not really. Anthony says, should I be starting Jacoby Myers over Cortland Sutton in my flex? Absolutely not. That was one bad game from Cortland Sutton. Do not panic on Cortland Sutton. He'll be just fine. He got 2 end zone targets, too. That's the thing. 4 targets, 1 catch. Rough. I get it. And Troy Franklin went off. He's the one there. He's the alpha there. They throw a lot of balls to Cortland Sutton in the end zone. Not worried about Cortland Sutton at all. Nor should you. I think Fields is playing. I think he needs to play. I mean, again, it's probably out of his hands. But he's going to have a decision in it. It's just a concussion. I know I'm not trying to downplay head injuries, but I think he's playing, and I think he needs to play because this is their season, and their backup is Tyrod Taylor, who is as old as I am, I think. Maybe older. I think he's like 30. He's like my age. Yeah. Jacoby's fine, but like if it's full PPR, maybe you could consider it. If it's half PPR, it's not even close. I still don't think it's close. I do think that the Bucs probably beat the Jets. Here's the problem with that matchup is the Bucs have, if you saw tonight, the Bucs have the best run D in the NFL. And the Jets are only a running team. Now, Fields will be fine because they're not good at stopping running quarterbacks, but they're really good at stopping the run game and RPOs. So that's an issue for the Jets. It's been looking like Debo is more the wide receiver 1 this year than Scary Terry. And it's the first year I've had McLaurin. McLaurin was always going to start off slow, man. All these guys that hold out always start out slow. Brandon Ayuk a couple years ago. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt like Brandon Ayuk did. He's fine, dude. It's not his fault. The offense has been broken. Jaden Daniels has missed every deep throw he's attempted. Last year he hit on every one of those deep throws somehow. So don't worry about Terry McLaurin. No, I think Debo is safer. If Terry misses, I think Debo is going to retain more of his value than McLaurin would because Debo, they do all those design plays for him. He gets some end arounds and shit. It hurts Terry more, but you start Zay. You're starting Zay. Zay is a must start right now in fantasy elite. Debo, Etienne, Javonte Williams, dude, or Etienne. It's Javonte Williams. I started Breece Hall in my $500 league this week over fucking Javonte. And I luckily won by 3 points, and the guy had Dicker. I think I won by 4. The guy had Dicker. So I was going to, like, literally probably not do the stream if I lost that. I would still do it, but I would have been a lot worse mood. Javonte Williams is a workhorse of workhorses. He doesn't look amazing, but he looks better than he did last year in Denver. He looks fine. He has the trust of the coaching staff. Jaden Blue has yet to dress. Jaden Blue is probably inactive this next week. Miles Sanders had that bad fumble in week 1 cost him the game. Miles Sanders is an epitome of just a guy. So, yeah, you're starting Javonte Williams everywhere. I would still do it. I'm a man of the dude. I'm doing this like I'm in so many leagues. One week I've had bad losses. I've also had epic wins. Like that's fantasy football. That's gambling. That's sports. That's life. So, sometimes you got to suck it up and do things that I make no money for this, so I probably shouldn't do it. Like I probably shouldn't be. Like last night I was on here for 3 fucking hours. was insane. But obviously, I was having a good time drinking. The chat's awesome. You guys are all been fucking super cool. All the new people that have been checking it out. I do appreciate you guys. Again, you guys are getting on the ground floor. This is the 4th year of the channel. First year, the first like month I've been doing these live streams. I started just by doing my drafts. But this is a different type of channel. And unfortunately, my boy Story had technical difficulties. He's going to be on here I'd say half the time with me. He can't commit to 30 hours like I'm fucking committing to. I got a couple other guys too. My buddy Rob, who I started the channel with. Hell yeah, Elite. Appreciate you. That's what I'm hoping. I want to build with, I have 2,000 subs, but originally it was just my family and friends and like people I play fantasy with and shit. Which sucks. I have to give all my knowledge to my league mates, which like in my leagues, I don't have Tucker Craft a lot because everyone took them from me. Because all I did all off season in every pod on the 25 we released was talk about Tucker Craft. And someone took him in the 6th round, bro, in my league. And I got Tyler Warren though in the 8th round. So it ended up being fine. But that's the one downside, but it's fine, dude. Like if this could actually become something, the money I could make, because apparently fucking YouTubers make a lot of money. Whatevs. I'm about to be monetized though soon. So yeah, you better super chat me and give me all your money, bitches. All you'll be doing is paying for more beer, and then I'll be on here more because I'll be drunker. Brian says, got to start 2, McLaurin, Diggs, and Pickens. McLaurin's definitely, dude, those are tough. Pickens is for sure a start. So Pickens for sure. See what's up with Daniels. If Daniels plays, it's probably McLaurin either way. Diggs' snap share was 40%. I think this last week he played 50%. So he's slowly trending up. But man, he does not look that much different than Pop Douglas when I see him make catches. Little concerned. But it's Pickens for sure. And then I'd say McLaurin. If Daniels is out, it's a toss-up, but I still go Terry McLaurin. Because Marcus Mariota is no slouch. Like Marcus Mariota is a fine backup. Elite. He says, is it absolutely wild to bench BTJ for Ibuka in week 3? I would say no, but here's the thing. BTJ apparently has this wrist injury. Ibuka, I don't know if you guys saw, like I said earlier, he has a groin or a hamstring injury. He played every snap after that, but they wrapped it. I would not do it because that's not how I play fantasy. That's one of my downsides. Maybe I play my guys, and that's a good problem to have. If you have nobody else, then I can consider it. But I'm still playing Brian Thomas Jr. He hasn't popped yet, and he will pop. What's up, Anthony? So currently, I should be starting Pollard over Hampton. Yeah, dude, you should be starting Montgomery over Hampton. Like Hampton might get less than 5 touches. He might get less than 10 snaps next week to send a message for that stupid fumble. I feel much better about it when I lose and I start my guy, even though it's a bad matchup or maybe a bad decision, than if I bench a Brian. I mean, Brian Thomas is a crazy one, but let's just say George Pickens, right? I drafted him in the 5th round, and I want to play Alec Iomanor, who I love, right? I have Iomanor in so many leagues. I picked him up. I drafted him in a lot. I picked him up after week 1. Now everyone picked him up. Now they're picking him up probably next week. He's on all my rosters, but I would never start Iomanor over Pickens, like just because when Iomanor goes out and gives me 2 for 20 and Pickens has 6 for 80 and 2 touchdowns, if it's the other way around, whatever, it's fine. Okay, cool. Iomanor. I got to see it first, right? And Ibuka BTJ is a little different, but you get what I'm saying? I feel much better about it if I go down with the ship with my guys. I don't like, start doing random starts. After trading all my depth in blockbusters, do you like the Fields for Pacheco and Tet trade? You're sorry, just help me out with this one. You're getting Fields or you're getting Pacheco and Tet. And I would not trade Tet. I would trade Fields for those guys. What's up, Hound House? Would you prefer guys like Iomanor or Troy Franklin over Kayshon Boutte? Yes, 100%. Yeah, Boutte had a touchdown, but he had 1 catch, dude. He still played 70% of the snaps, but like Stephon Diggs is getting healthier. I still believe they have big plans for Kyle Williams this year, who they drafted out of Washington, I believe, the college. He's a good player. Hunter Henry's still there. Trey Henderson hasn't been involved yet. So give me the upside of Iomanor. I feel like Troy Franklin is probably the most trustable guy to start the next week. Iomanor probably has the biggest upside, and Boutte and Franklin are similar. I would start Franklin next week over both those guys. I want Iomanor, though. Boutte is not really on my radar, man. A clear handcuff, man. Iomanor is tough because Iomanor is a rookie, and there seems to be a real thing happening with Cam Ward. As much as I like Calvin Ridley this year, their games don't mesh that well. Cam Ward's a chucker, man. He's aggressive. He likes throwing jump balls. And I don't know if you saw, Io Manor is a monster, dude. He's huge. He's like 6'2" and thick, and he's just a very, very gifted player. And he has a trust with the coaching staff. He's playing ahead of Tyler Lockett already. Oh, yeah, I like that trade 100%. And I love Fields, even after last week. But this is going from Kay. She wants you to drive. How does that work, Kay? I can come join. Keon Coleman droppable? No. One bad week from Keon Coleman. Everyone played bad for the Bills in terms of fantasy. Everyone had bad fantasy games for the Bills. So don't be dropping Keon Coleman, dude. He's fine. He's just fine. He's not as good as we thought he was after the first week, but he's not as bad as his performance. Did y'all heard about what happened to Mike Hawk? Who's Mike Hawk? I would definitely pick up Io Manor, dude. Huh. This guy's really talking about his wife a lot. That's interesting. Anyways, we're going to talk about that. If you guys could subscribe, though, I'd really appreciate it. A lot of good stuff on the channel. Also, shout out my betting segment every Friday night. I do the betting show late night Saturday night when I'm drunk, like midnight to 1 a.m. Central Time. But I release my bets of the week on Friday. That's Friday night, 7 p.m. Central. That's just not a live show. It's a YouTube video. I went 5-0 last week, dude. I'm 7-1 on those bets this year. All even odds prop bets typically. Definitely get that out. Try to get that right away, though, just because the lines change a lot. So, wow. Did you hear Crawford as a Packers fan? I don't know. You guys got some kind of inside joke going on here. I don't get most of these, but I mean, that's cool. That's cool, bro. I must have missed it, Elite. Sorry, unfortunately, I don't have a producer and it would have been easier for me today because I was gonna have a co-host on the stream, which it just didn't work out because his internet or my internet was bad. Mine seems fine now. Yeah, I can rate them. Just make sure you give me the scoring and everything because that matters a lot. Was Ramondre Stevenson's performance a fluke? No, it was a little fluky because I think he had like a 50-yard reception on like a broken play, but his snap share is not a fluke, and kind of believe in him a little bit. Alex says, you think I should drop Butte for Jawan Johnson with Kelsey as my tight end? Oh, no, I think you drop Butte for someone more a different position. I think you just roll with Kelsey. Kelsey's fine. Like, am I really going to want to start Jawan Johnson over Travis Kelsey? Especially with Rashee Rice out for another 4 weeks. We don't know about Worthy. I'm not. Mike Hawk. I see. I get it. These guys are funny. I would just keep Kelsey, man. Keep rolling with Kelsey. That's what I would do. I'm not even a big Kelsey man, but
Yeah.
like Kelsey's going to catch his share of touchdowns this year, and that's what we're looking for, right? All right, this has been an hour 45 minutes. I would do another 15 minutes if you guys want to. Let me know. I'll get one more beer if you guys want me to. But it's 2:24. I take my dog to the groomers tomorrow morning, and here we go. 10-man full PPR: Fields, Saquon, Henry, Tyreek, AJ, Kittle, Pitts, and JT. I love it. JT's not really a PPR guy. He actually has been catching on a passes this year, so I rate that one. Fields. If it's 4 for a passing touchdown, I rate it higher because of Fields. Not great in 6 for passing. I give it a solid B. I was offered Henderson and Jake Ferguson for Tootin and Kraft. Should I accept? Probably, man. As big as I'm a Kraft guy, you're selling really high on Kraft. You already got his awesome 2 games. Ferguson's fine, dude. He's getting 7, 8 targets a game. And Travion, if you're 2-0, I take that trade. You probably are if you have Kraft. If you're 2-0, I take that trade because you can afford a couple slow weeks from Henderson, and he will be fine. If you're 1-1, it's a decision. If you're 0-2, do not do that trade because you're not. It's going to be hard to start Henderson and feel confident. We got one vote for one more beer. Anthony says, PPR, should I grab Ramondre Stevenson as drop Sampson or Fannin? Keep Fannin. I think Sampson might be a drop, and I'm going to drop this.
I want to talk to Samson. Climb to the moon like that bitch Alice Cram.
I want to talk to Samson. Probably Samson, dude. With Judkins back, they're still playing Jerome. Jerome Ford played the most snaps. So I like Stevenson over Samson. I probably wouldn't drop Fannin. Fannon's a really high. If there's ever a high upside tight end stash, it's him. Definitely pick up Jordan Love, man. With all the injuries, like quarterbacks are getting more and more hard to find. So maybe a trade partner, and yeah, I know he did, but I'm just worried. Like it's a Browns running back in a timeshare. Like, is that exciting to you? I don't think it's that exciting. Like Travion Henderson is exciting, in the long run. Like I just don't. Stevenson isn't exciting either, but he's at least the lead back on the Patriots, right? Astro, I actually did fantasy. I ran my league for 15 years. This is the first year. I had a bunch of shit go down. People didn't pay me. There was a bunch of bogus trades. Some dude dropped his team. I didn't see it because I was working, and then people picked it up. So like the league folded, and I can't do it anymore with all the fucking players resting. I love the NBA. I'll bet on the NBA a lot. I might do like a weekly show once the football's over, maybe a daily show. I don't know. I got a couple buddies that kill it on that. I love fantasy basketball. That was like my favorite sport. I won that. So I won like 7 titles in 15 years. But I can't. I can't commission. Commissioning is a fucking headache, bro. Especially when you get like idiots in your leagues. So okay, you like Russell Wilson over Aaron Rodgers? No, because Russell Wilson's probably gonna lose his job at some point. I know he played well, but Jackson Dart's playing. I wouldn't be surprised if you see some Jameis Winston, baby. I really hope that. All right, we got 22 people in here. If I get 2 subs in the next 3 minutes, I'll get a beer and we'll do it. All I need is 3 subs, 2 subs, 3 subs. I'm looking at it right here. 2142. If I get up to 2144 or 2145, I will get one more beer. I did 3 hours last night. I'll get you a late season breakout either way, Elite, before I go, because I have some good names here. Bet I subbed. How to sub? Let's see. Yes, he did. All right, 2 more. If I get 2 more, I'm going to do another 15 or 20 minutes. Usually that means another hour for me, dude. That's just how I roll. Oh, damn, we got it. All right, I can take a couple more, but all right. I'm going to put a little clip on here while I get a beer, because I got to put a lot. I put lemons in my light beers because it's delicious. Thanks, Mark. All right, 30-minute little break here, and then I'll be back. So I'll put a clip on here that I like, just because I'm weird.
Is that piss? Is that piss?
You might as well pull over. He's just gonna keep yelling.
Jesus Christ, D! I'm covered in piss!
Well, maybe you shouldn't have had your window down.
Maybe you shouldn't be throwing jars of pee out the window!
Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. It's up for debate.
You shouldn't!
All right. That was quick. So, address the chat. Late round breakouts, right? Thank you for the sub, Mark Hound. I know Astro already has. Late season breakouts. I'm a little slow right now. I said I played golf and drank all day and then watched 6 hours of fucking football. That was great, though. I wish they did 2 Monday Night Football games on every Monday to break up. Because there's sometimes a stinker, dude. And I like them when they don't do it like 6 and 7:30 when you have to like choose which game to watch. We had back-to-back football games. RJ Harvey. Well, yeah, definitely Harvey. Because Dobbins will get hurt, or like Harvey's got to be something. He doesn't look good to me. Like if you watch him out there, does he look like a difference maker to you? Like I get he's a rookie, and like what I expect from rookies is shit like I saw from Hampton tonight, like a dumb fumble or like the Caleb Johnson thing where he's the like touching the ball on a kick return. I don't expect them to not look like they have a lot of juice. And he doesn't look like a dynamic player. At college, he looked awesome. But you got to remember, he was playing at UCF. Ooh, Tesla. That's a name. There you go. See, thank you in the chat. Tesla's a name because Jamison Williams, injury prone dude. St. Brown actually he gets hurt, but he plays through it. But Tesla, every reception he's had, counting the preseason, but they've all been like fucking Odell Beckham like shit. One-handed crazy. Like he gets no opportunities. He just makes circus catches. So Tesla he's got to see the field, and they're going to get him the field. I'm stashing Tesla. Io Manor is a guy. Again, we talked about Io Manor. Definitely Io Manor. I'm going to try to look at some of my benches. to see who I think like deep stuff. Let's see. Obviously, Fannin. DJ Giddens, but that's a handcuff, unfortunately. But Cedric Tillman, I can't count. That's as a late season breakout because he's already killing it. Wow, they already updated the win-loss. A lot of shit to look at. I guess you could say Ollie Gordon, just because if they fucking go to shit, A-Chain could be shut down. Well, elite. I think Najee's already getting into that category right now because he's going to be the lead back next week. There's just no world that Hampton's going to have more carries than Najee next week. If I had to predict a snap share right now, I would say Najee gets 65%. I would say Hampton gets 25%. And they sprinkle in Kamani Vidal or whoever else they want to have as their third back. D-Hop, you can't roster him, man, because, yes, he has 2 touchdowns. He played 16 snaps week 1, and he played 10 snaps week 2. I mean, the guy's performing. I love D-Hop, but, like, it's tough. Like, that's just not enough playing time for me. Anthony says, my 2 tight ends are Ingram and Fannin. What is the play going forward? Stick with Fannin. Yeah, you'd probably, dude, I think you could drop Ingram. Like, it sounds crazy because he was drafted in that cluster of Tucker Kraft and Warren, a little after Warren, but Kincaid, Ferguson, those guys. He just isn't involved. The play I really noticed when I watched the game was that false start he had. He had 1 catch. So I think you start Fannin over Ingram for sure. And at that point, if you're starting Fannin now when he's not even the official starter, why were you even keeping Ingram? Alex says 12-man PPR, Hurts, Hall, ETN, Neighbors, Amon-Ra, Kelsey, Sutton, and Hampton, Rice, Io Manor, Ayuk, and some handcuffs on the bench. What you think? Yeah, I love the build of this team. So Hurts is steady as shit. Your running backs are a little suspect, but Breece Hall will be better, and the handcuffs make this team, depending on who they are. That you should be loading your bench up with high-end handcuffs because Amon-Ra, Sutton, Rice, Io Manor, Ayuk, you're going to have wide receivers later in the year. Look at that. Packers fan, but you want to get a Tesla jersey. It's also a cool name. But yeah, dude, he's the fucking truth, man. Benson, Sharp, Robinson Jr., Harvey, Judkins, Quentin Johnson. If you had to drop 1, possibly 2. So this is from Mark. I need to make it. So who am I dropping? I'm not dropping Sharp, not dropping Benson. I'm not dropping Brian Robinson Jr. You can't drop Harvey. Dude, you got to drop Judkins and QJ. Sucks, but like you can't drop Benson, Charbonnet, Robinson Jr. are the 3 best handcuffs besides Algier in football. And you drafted Harvey in the fucking 5th round. You don't gonna give up on Harvey. Like I'd rather have Harvey than Judkins still. Harvey is not going to be startable for a while, and Judkins might be like a flexible guy, but his upside is not great with that offense and the fact that you still have Dylan Sampson there. Hey, you know what? Don't feel as bad. I did, like I said, 25 leagues. I don't think I ever saw him make it to the 4th round. He was a 3rd round pick in every single league because I would have drafted Hampton. I hate Hampton. Didn't like his film coming out of college. UNC running backs usually don't do well. I didn't like his vision. Anyways, I never saw him get to the 4th round. I would have drafted him in the 4th round. Like the 4-4, I would have been all over Hampton, but he never got past like the 3-6. Yeah, you got to get a Parsons jersey now. Keenan's a big pick. Wish I picked him up week 1. Yeah, but you're fine for the short. We'll see how long he lasts. But Higgins, can't wait for you to be monetized, man. Use our super chats for all the help you're giving me. Oh, thanks, bro. I mean, I don't really. It's cool. Like I prefer. The problem is, here's the one thing that's going to kind of suck about that because right now it's like this is more intimate, right? 30 people in here, like 5 or 6 people that are really fucking involved. I can actually get to like everyone's question. And that's the nice thing about super chats. But like, if it gets big, then it almost feels bad. It's like, that's what I see. I don't know. Do you guys watch the fantasy football show with fucking Smitty? That guy that's kind of a dick. He wears sunglasses and shit. You know what I'm talking about? He makes like fucking a G, dude, $1,000 a 2-hour show. And he only gets the super chats. He's kind of a dick to people. I don't know if you guys have seen that show, but anyways, hopefully I don't turn out to be like him. Anthony, how bad does Higgins drop with Burrow out? Higgins is probably the biggest loser of that fallout with Burrow's injury because I'm not worried about Chase Brown. I'm not worried about Jamar Chase. So, yeah, would you agree, Alex? Isn't Smitty a fucking cock? He knows his shit, dude. And like his production is fucking good. Like that studio, I'm going to give him props for that shit. But, and like some people have told me I'm kind of a dick. I think I'm pretty pleasant. Like I'm a very upbeat, positive person. And like I try not to be an ass to strangers. Like sometimes I'm an ass to my wife. Like I can be rude. We all can, right? But like I'm super nice to people like that check me out, like at a grocery store or like a server. You know what I mean? Because like I'm not gonna make their day worse. Fuck that. I hate people like that. But yeah, Smitty's kind of a douche. But hey, he's doing something right. He's making fucking dude. It's making like $1,000 a fucking stream. Hey, he doesn't get all that money. You only get 50% of those super chats. YouTube fucking takes a bunch of that shit. But I don't know. I think I know ball more than him. I think he's a little too biased. And like I'm biased too, but like that dude is dug in. He's definitely an ass to people. Like if you say anything that's like kind of dumb, he just like, yeah. One of the first ones I watched this year was he was trying to say Jalen Milroe's like a must draft like early in the year because he's going to take his job and all that. Jalen Milroe, if you watch the preseason, bro, he is not ready to be an NFL quarterback. He is like worse than Justin Fields. Like he can't read the field. Either way, I'm going to get to the question. Should I drop Tillman for Algier? Algier is much more upside, but it's like hypothetical, right? Like what are the chances Bijan actually gets hurt? It doesn't seem like much, but they do give him 25 touches a game. So Algier is like, how is he available? Is this a 10-man league? Because it's a 10-man you're talking about? I'd keep Keenan Allen is going crazy on PPR. So far he is, but like, do you really think it's going to keep up? And here's the thing. The Chargers are throwing the ball at like a record clip. Like their neutral passing rate right now it's like what the Chiefs had back in like the heyday. And maybe it's going to keep up all year. But the thing is, Harbaugh, this is like weird. I think they just came out early in the year and they tried to like surprise people. Or they didn't trust Hampton. Yeah, Team Money. Jared Goff, if that's available, Jared Goff is coming off a fucking banger against my Bears. Chandler, do we start JCM this week? Depends who your other options are. Who do you have for your other options? Because I expect him to play 60% of the snaps. I'll say that. He didn't play much last week. He looks okay, though. Mark says Murray, Cook, Harvey, Chase, Pickens, Coleman, Judy, Bowers, Boswell, kicker. Rating? Murray, Cook, Harvey. Well, you have a problem with running back. Keon Coleman. I like the players you have. If it's a 12-team league, I'll give it a B-, just because you're running back 2 spot, and it has upside with Harvey, and Kyler's fine. It's just James Cook's probably carrying you right now, and Chase is awesome, and I love Pickens. I do like Coleman. Judy is not going to be great the whole year. Like he might get moved. Bowers is worrying me right now, though. That's one of the problems. Bowers is playing hurt. I have Keenan and QJ on the same bench. Yeah, you can't have them both because are you ever going to play them both? And the problem is you're going to play the wrong one when you choose to play the wrong one because that's just how fantasy works. So I would probably trade Keenan Allen right now because name value. Like Quentin Johnson's outproduced him a little bit, but I would trade Keenan because name value. Find a dummy in your league that just like, you know, the guy that always drafts like old players and trade Keenan to him. Brees or Ibuka? It's Ibuka, man. Brees has they have the Bucks, right? That's a tough matchup. Brees might get 4 or 5 catches, but it's Ibuka. Yeah, but Garrett Wilson had a great week 1. Garrett Wilson's going to be just fine. I'm not worried. It wasn't that early. It was I got Garrett in the 4th round, mid-4th in the leagues I took him in full PPR, 12-team. Tyler says, both my fantasy leagues barely broke 100 points this week after both getting around 150 last week. Should I consider looking for a trade this early? It depends what your situation is. Are you 0-2? And if you're 0-2 and you have players like Henderson, Hampton, Harvey, guys that are not projected well the next couple of weeks and we don't know their role necessarily, if they're going to keep on playing 50% of the snaps or less, you got to trade them to a team that's 2-0. Because if I was in that league and I was 2-0, I'm looking to trade for Henderson and Hampton and Harvey, like not for like top dollar, but I'm looking to pillage the teams that are struggling. So if you're 1-1, you're okay to not make a move. If Jaden misses time, you think Herbert is a solid play versus Denver? I mean, Danny Dimes just fucking carved up that defense, dude. I still think Denver has a top 3 defense in the league, but that could just be a one-off. I think there's a chance that Denver overlooked the Colts, which is weird in week 2. And it's not like they were playing Thursday night the next week or anything. So Decory is over Higgins in half PPR going forward. No. When I say Higgins' value is lower, I still like Higgins over JCM. I still like Higgins over a lot of guys. Like, I still want Higgins over George Pickens. And I love George Pickens. It's just it's more of a conversation now because obviously Higgins was a 3rd-round pick and Pickens was a 5th-round pick generally in fantasy. Now that the gap is closer, right? Team Money, Tucker Kraft is on a tear. He is a god. That guy is, whew. Here, I got a little graphic I can show you that's fucking money about Tucker Kraft and Warren. Other RB is CMC, Kamara, Connor, and JCM. Have to start 3, maybe flex a 3rd. CMC, Kamara, Connor are all starting. All starting. And then JCM is a debate. I traded Garrett for Tyreek straight up. Regretted it after 1 week, but now not so much. I think that's a wash, man. Garrett's going to be much more consistent. Yeah, Rodgers that's bad. He had 4 touchdowns week 1, but what game are you most looking forward to this week? Man, I honestly haven't really looked ahead of the slate too much. I'm still like wrapping up this week, if that makes sense. Tonight I'll go through all my teams, and then I'll start looking ahead to next week, and then I'll start going through my bets and picking my spots, and then setting my lineups, and then it starts again, right? What a basket! I think I might have gone like 14-11 this week. I went 15-10 last week. That's a fine start. As long as I can keep on having winning weeks, it's like the stock market, bro. That's all I want to do. I don't want to have a bad week. Who's my most rostered player? It's Tucker Kraft by a mile. Well, no, it's my most rostered starter. I have Tucker Kraft in 11 out of 25. I think it's Trey Benson. It's Tyler Algier. It's like those Blake Corum. I think Blake Corum is my most rostered player. I have Blake Corum in like 17 or 18 leagues. I was getting him in the 16th round, dude. Super happy about that one. So yeah, it's in terms of starters, it's definitely Tucker Kraft. I'm trying to think. Tyler Warren and McBride are my other tight ends I have the most of. So I'm doing great at tight end. Wide receiver, I have a lot of Pickens, which he had a good week this week, but I'm a little bit worried about that. I have a lot of Drake London. Again, I'm not worried about these guys. A lot of Nico Collins. When I say a lot, like 4 or 5 shares. Oh, Javonte Williams. I have a lot of Javonte Williams. I have a lot of Cedric Tillman. I have a lot of Keon Coleman. Those are all guys I was really high on. I have a lot of Justin Fields. Yeah, 1-1, Tyler. I would not. Don't panic, man. 1-1. You got to just win next week, right? Here, I have a little Tucker Kraft, Tyler Warren stat here graphic that I was gonna have for Story. Had a whole bit on this thing, but look at this shit, guys. Look at Kraft and Warren on this fucking chart. This is targets and yards per route run. Look at Kraft and Warren. And then McBride's up there, obviously Laporta, and Njoku and Kelsey. Look at how bad that is. Chicaconquo, Zach Ertz. This is just telling you all you need to know about Tyler Warren and Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft's going to have more touchdown equity than Tyler Warren, I feel like, but this is unreal. And that's why these guys are the real deal. Like, the advanced numbers back it up. The eye test backs it up. The offense backs it up. The role in the offense backs it up. Tyler Warren, in his case, the draft capital backs it up. Tucker Kraft is such a monster, bro. I didn't realize he's 6'5". He doesn't look that tall because he's so fucking wide. 260, man. The guy runs like the wind. Bears, Cowboys. Now that's always theater because you got Jerry Jones crying if they lose. Bears need to win. Yeah, Pickens will explode. Thankfully for the end of the game, because that was looking like another like 4 for 40 if that game didn't have 40 points in the fourth quarter. Dubs or Moore. Is this DJ Moore? I'm still taking DJ Moore, but I am warming on Dubs and Wicks. Let me know. Is that DJ Moore? Because I'm taking DJ Moore. What's my outlook on Pacheco? Is he absolutely cooked? Pacheco doesn't look terrible in terms of like how he looks. Like last year when he came back, obviously came back early from that broken fibula or whatever. He doesn't look terrible, but he's just not getting enough snaps. Kareem Hunt actually looks good. So I'll eat my words on that one. I said he was done. He looks good. And my biggest worry is Brashard Smith. They drafted out of SMU. He's a really, really good pass catching running back. He's like a better version of he's a more athletic version of Jerick McKinnon. And we remember that Jerick McKinnon role was really valuable for 2 years in KC with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. When they start getting Rashard Smith involved, then it's just I'm full panic on Pacheco. I have Pacheco in, I think, one league, and I started Javonte Williams over him this week, which was pretty easy. But I would start Montgomery over him. I would start a lot of guys over him. Team Money says I got Travis Hunter in the 8th round, thinking that pick has a nice upside later in the year. I'm a little disappointed, but what's nice about Travis Hunter is they're really scheming him touches, but they've all been little short dink and dunk passes. But he is so athletic, he will break some of those. I like what they're doing with him. He's got to get acclimated to the NFL. He's still playing a little bit of defense. I'm not worried about Travis Hunter. I'm not as high on him as I was. I have 4 or 5 shares, and luckily he's my 5th receiver. Or I drafted Keon Coleman or Chris Olave after him, and I'm just starting Olave as my flex, my 4th receiver. Yeah, I still go DJ Moore. I'm going to go on talent, but Dubs is probably safer, bro. But I'm a big DJ Moore fan. Unfortunately, Odunze is way outproducing him. DJ Moore is still a better player. Now, the role, it seems like it's a better role right now in the offense for Odunze. Pacheco's okay. It's just rough, man. And I was thinking it would be a good year. I'm lucky I didn't get a lot of them. I started taking Tony Pollard over him just because those are some of my I go early quarterback or something in those leagues, and I was like, I need a guy that I know is going to be a starter for the first 5 weeks, like a guy that's going to get elite volume. And Tony Pollard has not really killed it so far, but he has been playing 85-90% of the snaps. He's getting 20 touches a game. He'll be fine. The offense is getting better in Tennessee as well. Rate my 500 squad, 10-man, Hurts, Henry, JT, Chase, Lamb, Andrews, Tet. I love this team. Tet's ascending. Henry and JT, bro. Is this full PPR is how you got those running backs, but I don't care. They're going to score a lot of touchdowns. Maybe Danny Dimes will stop fucking stealing all the 1-yard touchdowns in Indianapolis. God damn it. But Chase, Lamb, amazing. Tet, I still believe in Andrews. I'm telling you, hold strong with Andrews, my man. I know it doesn't sound good. I guarantee every other fantasy show is going to tell you fucking drop Mark Andrews, pick up fucking Juwan Johnson or some shit. Roll with Mark Andrews. He's tied to Lamar Jackson. Herbert or Mayfield? Probably Herbert, bro. It's so close, but Herbert just looks amazing. He's fully healthy. He's been dealing with ankle injuries the last couple of years, and he just hasn't been mobile. Justin Herbert's a gazelle out there. He's like a mini Colin Kaepernick with muscles and just an amazing passer. But Baker is a stud. His passing numbers, though, his yardage totals have been so low. But he has, 5 touchdowns in 2 games. He's still giving you 30 yards on the ground. Well, Saquon, my number 1 pick. Yeah, was that number 1 overall, or did you get him at 5? Because he went 5 in a lot of my drafts. I would give it a week. I mean, he won't be another 1 catch for 5 yards, bro. I promise you that. He's going to catch a touchdown this week. I would bet a lot of money on that. It's Mark Andrews, what he does. Hurting at running back. Me trading Judkins and Quentin Johnson for Travis Etienne. Thoughts? Trading Judkins and Quentin Johnson for Travis Etienne. Yeah, dude. Do that trade in a heartbeat. I mean, Barkley's safe as hell. He probably won't finish as the number 1 running back this year. Probably going to be Bijan or Gibbs. But it's Saquon Barkley. He's tied to the best O-line, a team that wants to pound the rock. He's their offense. Just for fun, if you had to guess, who's going to be the highest non-quarterback score in fantasy in week 3? These are some existential questions you're asking a drunk man at 3 a.m. Let me look at the games here. And I'll take a little gander here. Who do I like the most? Non-quarterback, huh? I think it's Jonathan Taylor, bro. They have the Titans. I could see it being PPR. I could see it being. I'm trying to take my heart out of this. CMC, but that's kind of a cop-out answer, right? Yeah, I'm going to go with Jonathan Taylor, man. I mean, it's a good matchup against the Titans. If you notice, the crazy thing, week 1, Giddens, because he got banged up. JT got banged up. Giddens had those 12 carries because they were playing the Dolphins. They were up by 28 points. Giddens played 2 snaps. Jonathan Taylor played 4% of the snaps, dude. So they're just rolling with JT. And there's going to be a game where Daniel Jones doesn't have, 3 or 4 carries. Like they're doing tush pushes with Daniel Jones. It's not going to continue forever. JT just he has touchdown equity. They're throwing him the ball out of the backfield. He looks really, really good right now. Jacobs, I think it finished great too. He's being Jacobs. He might get more catches this week. Irving. Cards or Seahawks this week? Is this for like a streaming defense? Because it's streaming defense Seahawks. I've been stashing the Seahawks. I should have played them this week, but I played the Rams over them. And actually, I think the Seahawks scored 1 more point than the Rams. They were the top 2 scoring defenses. Evans is fine. I mean, it's not been great production. The fact he doesn't have a touchdown and Mbuka has 3 is a little concerning, but I'm not worried. What's going on, Anthony? Evans is fine. I mean, what are you going to do? You can't trade him because his value isn't quite where it should be. So, yeah, I'm not worried about him. Lamar, Saquon, Jacobs, Tyreek, Brian Thomas, Kelsey, Brees, Hampton, and Mbuka. You got a lot of depth. 10-man teams are always weird to grade. Yeah, Tyreek and BTJ are probably letting you down right now, but I like the upside of that team. We have it's hard to grade it. It's definitely above average. I'll say that. It's just I bet a lot of teams are stacked in that league. But having Lamar in a 10-team league is such an advantage. He can win you a week. Like every 4 weeks, he wins you a week. It seems like. Yeah, man. Genty was disappointing tonight. The Raiders are disappointing tonight. No, actually Gibbs. It might be Gibbs over Montgomery. Gibbs for this week for highest scorer as well. Bucky Irving for Etienne and Pollard. Yes, do that. Oh, man, that's so tough. You're getting Etienne and Pollard? That's so hard, man. Etienne's value is high, and Pollard is more of an expiring asset because eventually Tyjae Spears is going to come back and kind of eat into his workload a little bit. Tyler, I don't think so. He says Tyreek to the Cowboys. Unfortunately, I was just saying Tyreek needs to go to a good environment, like a good professional organization with a strong head coach, with good leaders in the locker room, and the Cowboys have none of that. It'd be great theater, but like it needs to be a team like the Chiefs. It needs to be a team like the Packers, maybe the Rams. The Rams don't really need them, but like something like that. Sean McVay, the Steelers, they wouldn't do that, but like with Mike Tomlin, it needs to be a fucking professional organization. And the Cowboys are so fucking far from a professional organization right now that they can't do it. Inches away from pulling off Burrow for Etienne on Saturday night. Yeah, I mean, in retrospect, that would be a good trade. But if it wasn't for the injury, I wouldn't have liked it. You think I got traded Alvin Kamara for TJ Hawkinson? And who is that? Who's the other one? Mayfield and Evans for Nico and Murray. Mayfield and Evans. I like the Nico and Murray side. I'm still high on Nico. Hey, what's up, Chase? Joining us late here. I can't believe I'm still on. Damn, it's really 2:54. Jesus fuck. I didn't think it was that late because we had like 30 minutes of technical difficulties and started like a lot later than we wanted to. And then Story couldn't even come on because it's fucking internet. Oh, I just woke up. I need to go to sleep after I finish this beer. I should probably slug it down. What was the question, Astro? It's Nico and Murray, bro. Nico and Murray, 100%. You're 1-1, Anthony. Who was the other name? Anthony, who was the other name? You misspelled. It's Hawkinson, and I didn't see the other one. Is that Rashad White? Hawkinson's a fucking bust right now, bro. He's done. It's 4 a.m. here on the East Coast. Oh, so we got an East Coast guy. A lot of these guys are West Coast guys, just based on the fact that it's like usually midnight when I'm doing these there, or 11 o'clock. Jefferson owner panicking, offering Kamara and Rasheed. He's contemplating. Man, I don't think I'd even want to do that, bro. Like, Rashee Rice, especially with the Chiefs being 0-2 right now, like the Chiefs are a boom later in the season. They need Rashee Rice. Kamara's fucking. I would just wait and try to trade Kamara for someone else because I'm a little worried about Justin Jefferson. Like, not that he's gonna be bad, but like, he's gonna be worth the top 5 pick he was being drafted at. No. Yeah, you got sold, bro. Unfortunately, Hawkinson is not great. It's all right. We can make it work. Now, if it was Kamara for Tucker Kraft, I mean, it might be better, but it's, bad moves don't define us. It happens. And maybe tomorrow Alvin Kamara gets hurt or something. I don't want to wish that. I'm not trying to wish that. I'm just trying to make you feel better. Shit happens. Chase is fine, Mark. I'm not worried about Chase. I'm worried about T. Higgins. I'm not worried about Chase Brown either. Yeah, if you can get rid of Godwin, because I don't think Godwin's going to be much anyway. And Buka's like stepping forward as the 2 there. So definitely like that trade now. Nico, dude, people are panicking on Nico. Week 1 was rough, yes. Week 2, okay, caught the first touchdown, had 3 catches for 50 yards and a touchdown. But if you saw it, he should have gotten the end zone in that early fourth quarter slant he had. It was like an 8-yard catch on the 9-yard line. And then he got 2 on the 1-yard line. They threw him 2 go routes or 2 fades in the end zone, and he didn't catch either of them because they were bad throws from Stroud. But like, he gets so many fucking red zone targets, so many end zone targets. Nico Collins is the dude. I love Rashid Shaheed. I like Chris Olave, but Shaheed was such good value this year. Yeah, bro. Kamara and Godwin for Jefferson for sure. Hawkinson's always been pretty good. But he's just old. That offense is broken. He'll be fine. You can't drop him. You got to keep on starting him. But it'd probably be better with Carson Wentz too. I feel like Carson Wentz loves tight ends. Hall better than Chubb? Yeah, Hall's better than Chubb. I still do like Chubb, but he's so easy to get game scripted out. If you notice that Woody Marks was playing a lot more in the middle part of the game when they were losing. Hampton 2 yards short of cashing one leg. God. And again, it was an automatic win. If he doesn't fumble that ball, regardless of the yards he lost in that fumble, like he would have played in the, Najee Harris had 16 yards rushing after that on 5 carries. Those would have all, at least a couple of them would have got to Hampton. Easy money. That's something you can't predict. And it's like, think if it was the other way. If you had the under on that number, you would have been like, how did I just win that? That's so lucky. You got the opposite end of that spectrum, man. All right, I gotta finish this beer and I gotta take off. If you're in here though and you want to subscribe, I would appreciate it. We've been going for 2 hours and 18 minutes. I'm gonna be on tomorrow doing the waiver wire show, and I got a couple more minutes just so don't back out. But I'm gonna be doing the waiver wire show tomorrow. Hopefully, Story can join me and get his internet fixed. If not, I got another guest that can come on. What's Najee's value after tonight? Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Najee has gone from handcuff range to like David Montgomery range, I'd say. I guess we'll have to see how it plays out, but there's the possibility that Najee just is the starter for at least the next couple weeks. And if he plays well, why would they go away from Najee Harris? Although he's not flashy, is a super trusted veteran that never gets hurt, that gets the yards that are blocked for him. That's actually a pretty good receiver. So Shaheed, or is this Anthony? Is this Will? You talking about Brian Robinson? Because I'd rather have Brian Robinson Jr. if it's a bench stash, because CMC will get hurt eventually. I'm gonna send this to you guys again. Some of you guys knew that I've been in the chat last couple days. Here's my email. If you guys want to shoot me hit me up. If you have a decent computer, decent connection, if you want to come on the show, I'm gonna try to have some guests on here. As I'm doing fucking 10 of these a week, and sometimes doing it solo gets not boring, but it's a lot to just manage the chat. And if I have someone else that can kind of fill some time and have a conversation with as well with the chat, I think it's nice. And also, I mean, why the fuck not, dude? You guys deserve it. Like, it's not hard. Anyone could do this. Like, it's not fucking hard. Maybe they can. I'm pretty fucking talented. Let's be honest. But you gotta have some personality and no ball, right? But it's also good to get different perspectives, and that's what I like about this chat. Is like, I learn a lot, and I have a lot of like light bulb moments where like just talking something out. And that's why I started this channel in the first place, mostly to drink beers with my friends, because we usually always do it in person. Just moments of just realization of how I was wrong or how they were right, opposed to just being stuck in your ways like a Smitty, where it doesn't matter what you say. That's what he thinks and that's right. Like, that's not the way it works, bro. We're all wrong at times. We're all right at times. It's about being able to adjust, right? Well, thanks, Elite. I'm glad you were in here. What's your actual name, Elite? I'll probably forget it, but I'm gonna guess you're a Steven or maybe a Josh. Or maybe you're a chick. Who fucking knows? Maybe you're a tranny. I don't fucking know. I wouldn't care. It's fucking hot. If you're hot, hit me up. Giants wide receiver Robinson. I'm not buying in on. I want Shaheed over Robinson, dude. Miles. All right, that's a cool name. Cup at flex. My starters are CJ Stroud, Nick Chubb, Gentry, Devontae, Debo, Hawkinson. Okay. I would try to maybe trade high on Cup. If he has one more good week, Cup's pretty toast, man. He had 7 catches for 90 yards, 1 catch for 5 yards week 1. If you get one more good week out of him, he's a big name that people might bite on. What's your channel, Elite? Is that it? Elite Division Sports? No problem, Mark. Like I said, don't take any of this as gospel, but I'm just going to tell you guys and give you the advice that I would do personally with any situation. I'm not going to give you any plays I give gambling. I always bet them. So it's like easy for people to go on things and be like Matthew Berry, be like, this is my play for Sunday Night Football. Fuck you, Matthew Berry. You ain't betting that shit. So I don't want to put my money on something that you're not betting. You're just like doing it for clicks or whatever people are doing shit for. I'm going to just give you plays, bets, opinions that I'm going to do with my own money because I have $7,000 on the line, which is a decent amount of money for someone like me. Why would you trade? I wouldn't trade for Cup. Who would you trade for Cup? Who would you want to get back? Probably a running back, dude. Try to get David Montgomery if you could. Oh, cool. I'll check it out, man. I got nothing but time in my hands. I don't sleep very much, so I do a lot of blow, bro. I'm kidding. Maybe in the past, but I don't want to put that on record. I put a lot worse shit on record, though. Who am I talking about? Or what am I talking about? I'm in 11 leagues. I bet 1 to 5K a week. Well, you found the right channel, man, because, again, Friday night, Elite, beating the odds. You can just go check, just so I'm not lying, but I went 5-0 on my props this week. 7 o'clock Central Time, Friday night, 7 p.m. It's a 5-minute video, and then I do a gambling show Saturday night called Beating the Odds. We all kind of talk out bets and go through every game. I only bet player props typically. I'll do some lines and parlays, but I'm 7-1 this year on my big bets, and that's actually on the show. And I think I'm 64% the last. I've done it for 4 years. Usually do 3 a week, sometimes 4. 64%. That speaks for itself. It can't be worse than like minus 120 is the lowest I'll go. I won't do a minus 130, so they're usually minus 110. So even odds, I guess. That's exactly what I do, bro. You got to pick your spots and, $200, depending. You're apparently betting more than that. I'm up like 4 Gs, though, since week 1. And the nice thing is I've only actually put like $1,500 at risk, but I won a $1,600 parlay and I put $10 on it. So like that really helped. I hit a couple other ones. This week I hit with 5-0 and I parlayed all those together. Only put like 5 on it, but that was another like 120 to risk $5. But that's the strategy, right? You want to sprinkle the Hail Marys and don't get too cute with like 9-player parlays, bro. 3 or 4. I like first touchdown bets, like deep shot ones. Hey, Corey. Someone offered me Brian Thomas for T. Higgins and Travis Hunter. If it's a shallow league? Yes. If it's a deep league, probably not. It's close. Deep league, definitely not. Shallow league, yes. Someone wants to trade me Irving for Adams. Good trade or no? If you get Irving, yes, take Irving over Adams. Yeah, well, King Henry, that fucked everyone. Touchdown yards, everything. Yeah, gambling is a big addiction, so I'm not trying to advocate it, but I don't really post the parlays. We do the parlays on the Saturday Night Live show. That's around midnight Central Time. My bets are all straight bets. I do 3 or 4. This week I did 5 on Friday night, 7 p.m. Central. That is all prop bets. It's on this channel, so just go to the channel. Just go to the videos, not the live streams, and it's called Beating the Odds. Can't miss it. Do you know Tim Talk how they can duo and I don't really get what you're saying, Curtis. Do you know? I know TikTok. Is that what you're saying? Ooh, 180 to 1500. Well, everyone, dude, Vegas got cleaned out on that game. That was the game I had my $10 bet to win 100 or 1600. I had Dalton Kincaid 20-1 first touchdown scorer, and then 3 other props, and then I had like 3 other parlays too because I had all the boost. I won every one of them because if you just went overs, every bet hit pretty much. Bengals are signing Shedeur Sanders to. Wow. I don't want Shedeur Sanders anywhere near my team, but yeah, that one again. The Friday show is not live. That is a 5-minute YouTube video at 7 p.m. The Saturday night midnight is the Beating the Odds like live show, the gambling show. So I try. Sometimes I can't do it on Saturdays because I actually have things I want to do. My wife wants to do things, but early Super Bowl prediction. I have been on the Bills since last year playoff loss. So it's either Bills or Ravens. I can almost promise you that one, but Bills. And then it's easy to say that the Packers, but I'm going to go with the Lions still, man. I think the Lions make a move. They make a trade. They look great. Well, we didn't fall for Joe Burrow because Joe Burrow was the best value on the board because he was a 5th-round pick, and the other guys went in the 3rd round. Jaden Daniels is not looking like a good pick where he went. I saw people taking Daniels over like Lamar and shit. Yeah, I guess I forgot about the Eagles. The Eagles are probably the favorites. I still want the Eagles over the I feel like the Eagles would beat the Packers straight up. That's good to win 5.1K. That's a good point. If they start losing Hutchinson, yeah. I think the Bengals would be competitive, man. I don't know. I mean, I know Joe Burrow's amazing, but their weapons are so good. I think they'll still be okay. Their defense looks a little better this year, too. A little better. All right, I gotta get off. Again, if you're in here, you haven't subscribed, please do. This is almost 2.5 hours in this stream. Again, I'll be on almost every single night. Sunday, I'll do 2 shows. I'll do a start-sit Q&A at 9:30 Central a.m. And then after all the games, after Sunday Night Football, I will do a recap show. And then, obviously, this is the Monday night recap show, which wasn't really a recap show because Story couldn't join me. But DK Metcalf will be consistent. He'll either catch a touchdown or have mad volume. Better days ahead. How many wins will my Raiders get this season? Not 3. I say 5. I think they're going to be competitive, but the wins are not going to come because their division is hell. Their division's hell. It's almost as hard as the NFC North. But that's it for me, gentlemen. I'm going to put one more clip in here just because I'm feeling a little frisky. What do I want to put in here? What do I want to put in here? What do I want to... Ooh.
Excuse me, sir. This is private property. What are you doing?
Just taking it all in.
You're staring at my daughter's bedroom.
She's really grown into her body. This is going to be a fun summer for her.
One of my favorite Family Guy clips. So random. Yeah, boys. Appreciate you guys. And hopefully I'll see you in the next coming days. Tomorrow night, probably be a late one. I like to do it right before the waivers actually clear because I stay up till 2 in the morning and then get all the defenses and kickers and shit. So I'll probably be around midnight Central Time for the waiver show. Hopefully my boy Story joins me for that one. That's it. Stay positive. Love your life. Treat each other well. And let's make some money soon. Again, and keep on making money. And just enjoy life, man. Get some sleep. Ooh, Munchies with a rude comment. I'm going to highlight this one before I go. No one likes your kind. Are you racist against white people, Munchies? You not like my beard, Munchies? Now you're getting me all fired up. You can't troll me, Munchies. I handle trolls really well because I usually meet them under bridges. And one of my favorite songs from Sony is You Got to Pay the Troll Toll to get into this boy's hole. And yeah, how many wins for the Seahawks? Dude, I'm really bullish on the Seahawks, Tyler. I think they're going to win 9 games, bro. Maybe more, maybe 10. Dark horse for the division. Munchies, I didn't like that comment, but you have a good night too.